Alright, yep, everything looks to be transmitting. I hate pollen. Yeah, we all hate pollen. It's why I love it when it rains all the time in New Jersey.
Yeah. I mean, I'm mostly ambivalent to it because I don't deal with allergies from it. But boy, it makes everything look fucking ugly when it's in heavy curtains.
Yeah, yeah.
Tastes
Yeah.
awful if you're unlucky enough to get it gusted into your mouth as you're walking.
Yeah, consuming tree sperm is not recommended.
No, we're aware of what pollen is, Sneaky.
I,
Yeah, no.
I feel like that's a moot point considering honey is just refined tree sperm. Like,
No,
Pretty
excuse
much.
you. Honey is bee vomit. Get it right.
Yes, it's bee
yes, made
vomit
using pollen.
made using pollen, which is
Yeah,
yes.
yes, but there's that the pollen involved comes from flowers, not trees.
No, it comes from anywhere. Bees are not discriminatory.
Um, I mean, maybe in some other areas, but we don't have any flowering trees where I live. The trees kind of just dump their pollen in one giant
Curtain.
spagloosh.
Well, all right, look, so when they go to get pollen from a flower, it's not like they're explicitly going, I'm going to pick these pieces of pollen just from this flower, not also the one that came from the pine tree above it that are
Yeah,
mixed
yeah,
in with it
I
because
know
it's
they're not
all
being
over it.
selective. I'm aware. I'm just saying that the bees aren't specifically going to the trees
No, they're not. Well, most breeds
on
aren't
Big Rock Candy
in
Mountain.
most places.
But yeah, so no, English second language complaint. So I had someone text me, um, you know, person's name, hello. I'm like, okay. All right. And he's like, are you not gonna say hello back? I'm like, was I supposed to? I mean, I'm really confused right now. He's like, someone walking down street, say hello. What do you do? I'm like, I don't know. I'd probably just stare at them if they just did that to me fucking these days. Trying to remember who the fuck they are. But you didn't say they were telling me hello. You just said their name and hello with multiple exclamation points. What the fuck was I supposed to interpret from that? You could have been asking me a question about them. All you need to do is
Yeah.
put the word says in there, and I'd be like, oh, they're saying hi to me. Fucking dipshit. He had the fucking gall to act offended that I didn't translate his English second language correctly. Isn't honey, nectar, and bee spit? It's honey, pollen, and bee spit. It's sorry, nectar, pollen, and bee spit. Raw honey has a lot of pollen and other particulates in them.
Yeah.
It's also a
Uh,
lot of
fun,
antioxidants.
Yes.
fun fact, kids. If you wanna have an easy spring, load up on locally sourced honey throughout the
Yes.
year.
Yes.
Yep. Raw honey specifically.
Cause, yeah, cause allergies are basically just a skill issue, as has been proven time and time again.
Yes. Yeah.
Most allergies, like the common allergies are skill issues. Some things are a little dangerous to try and fix. Like, I don't know, let's say you have a severe peanut allergy and touching it will bloat you up. A
I
little
mean,
too
it's still a
strong.
skill issue.
Yeah, but it's one you can't really overcome
Yeah, it's kind of like,
because
the lead allergy.
it probably will kill you trying to
Yeah.
overcome it.
Yeah, it's
Let
like
it
everyone's lead
velocity.
allergy, you can't really shoot yourself with smaller calibers to build up a resistance.
I mean, you could
Uh,
try.
Yeah, but it won't work out great.
I think he'd be better off trying to build calluses and vital points. To be
I don't think they'd
honest.
ever get thick enough to knock off
Uh,
anything
I
but
don't know,
maybe a
man.
BB.
I've gotten to see some thick calluses. You could probably stand up. I don't know. Could probably stop a 22. Not like at the surface, but
I mean,
enough to slow it
sign,
down.
you
You'll get
will
to dig it
never
out.
have to worry about any sort of small arms fire if it ever hits your head. I think you'll be just fine.
Get fucked. Neither will you, but that's because your head is like, your skull is 2 inches thick.
Yeah, well,
And
actually,
and your bones are like cement.
yeah, well, I've, it is what it is. I'll just headbutt the bullet first, Yeah, you gotta
For
surprise the
whatever.
Of
bullet out of its
course.
trajectory.
Ah, yes, of
Yeah.
course.
As one
Friends, I
does.
just got back from Comic-Con. What the fuck did
I'm
you people
sorry.
let Sneaky smoke?
Nothing. Sign attempted to clap back, and it just kind of faltered.
Yeah,
Also, no, why would you be sorry? Comic-Con was C2E2 was a fantastic time. Listen, I go there to buy art, of which there's
and
plenty
catch
of
the
good
flu.
artists left in Artist Alley. Get the flu, and find cool cosplays. Listen, there was a woman. She crocheted a Fierce Deity Link outfit.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
I just dropped it in Fic 9K. Like the whole thing is cursed. I was like, not only did you go for like a link that I almost never see represented at cons, you crocheted it.
Yeah.
That's points for creativity.
That is
True.
the comfiest armor cosplay I have ever seen.
Like,
I have to see this. This sounds amazing.
Is it just my imagination, or
That
does
is
the
adorable.
entire front of that look like a face?
Have you seen the in-game
Ah.
armor?
I've seen it, but you've got your googly eyes and your
I'm
mouth
gonna
and
be
your
honest. I'm almost
beard.
disappointed she didn't crochet some covers for the boot to match.
Right?
but yeah,
Yeah.
so she
True.
had by far the comfiest cosplay of anybody there.
That is adorable.
Now, you know what? That's a certified birdie moment.
Like I saw that and I was like, I was like, I gotta get a picture of this because it's fantastic.
Oh yeah, good for them. I mean, of course, the mandatory enormously round person in the photo.
Yes.
Yeah, listen, that's inescapable at Comic-Con.
I'm aware. That's what I'm saying. It's mandatory.
Yeah.
But I didn't smell anybody at Comic-Con.
Was that because you were too
Was
busy
that
being
because you had
sick?
the flu?
No.
Huh.
Because like when we went by the candle shop, I could smell that.
Fair. It's funny actually. My little brother went to a convention recently, and he was like, "Yeah, I kind of left early because it was starting to get nauseating." And I was like, "Ah, you have encountered the smell." He said, "Yeah,
So,
yeah,
okay,
I
I
did."
gotta ask,
That is hilarious.
which convention?
Just a local one in New Jersey.
Okay, listen, it's important to add because it's like, well, what?
It was
what
like
kind of-
Warhammer 40K, Warhammer Fantasy, and Magic the Gathering, stuff like that.
Oh,
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah.
That would do
Ooh.
it.
the
Yeah,
unholy trio.
You could have gone for a quad if you'd included a small melee side tournament somewhere.
I'm sure one was happening.
A melee side tournament with an anime Evo in the bathroom.
Oof. Well, actually, no. Anime Evos, they're probably actually a lot cleaner smelling than.
Very
anime.
true. Very true.
Also, if
yeah.
they're in the bathroom, that's not Anime Evo. That's just Melty Blood. Leave them alone. They're trying.
Oh,
That's an
milky
actual dude. I love that
blood.
meme became so strong. They actually did unironically start holding side tournaments in them at some fighting game.
Ugh.
But yeah, anyway, yeah, Sign was running face first into the same thing that Nosehair does every time he tries to insult me, is that I just agree with them.
Yeah, that's the
So,
problem with insulting Sneaky. He's a deranged subhuman, and he knows
yes,
that.
absolutely. I will
I
make it
was
everyone
pointing
else's
out
problem.
just how much of a subhuman he is compared to everyone else with his Cro-Magnon pick skull.
Yeah, well, you know, my skull is
Oh,
actually hyper
Max,
optimized
post
to
the
deflect
thing?
bullets.
No, I'm waiting for Sign to either get
Yeah,
an L or get
Sign
a
has to
W.
get
I'm fine
a
with either.
massive L.
I'm good with
Or,
either.
you know, W. That's true. Sign
Counterpoint.
could mysteriously acquire a W today. It is
Counterpoint.
possible.
It happens
Sign
once
has
in a
racked up a
while.
lot.
What heresy are
lot.
you spouting?
Yeah,
Sneak?
but we want him to earn it. It's not funny if we just throw it at his
The-
face.
That's why I'm allowing it to be an L or a W. Like, hey, congrats on your W, or sorry for your L, and then just post
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
So I don't
Congrats
get
on your
one for-
W. We're sorry for your L.
So I assume posting a new chapter of Outer Heaven doesn't count for that.
No, I'm still
Did
reviewing
someone-
it.
Well, hang on. Did someone pay you $1,000 for it?
I wish. No, it's just the standard fee.
Then no. If it's your standard
They
fee,
paid
that's
like
not a W.
$200 for 4 chapters at once.
Nice. Let's go.
S- Sneaky is made a perpetual energy machine with that
I
fucking
have.
story.
Speaking
The
of
Star Wars
perpetual
story
energy
is almost
machines,
as bad.
spin the wheel.
Ruby, give us Ruby.
Danny Phantom.
Oh, what?
I
Hey, at
haven't
least it's not
done
Danny
this
Fentanyl.
section in a while.
Literal
That's his older
years,
brother.
I'm pretty sure. God, boy, I'm pretty sure it's been literal
Cartoons.
years.
Yeah,
since Danny
well,
Phantom.
you know, it is one of the top sections, though. Even more stories than Young Justice.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe it's because
That's
DC
not
fans
his
don't like
person.
writing.
DC fans can't read, so.
Oof. I mean, not wrong, just oof.
Let's see what we got here. We got a Parasite. Post PP. Season 4, Episode 6. After the recent death of a dear loved one, Danny and Tucker are noticing that Sam is acting out. What they don't know is that Sam has a ghost parasite that's feeding on her depression. As their control continues, they grow stronger and play with Sam's mind. Will Danny and Tucker be able to save Sam from herself before it's too late? A Danny times Sam story. Bold.
I mean, Sam is basically the only.
The show that was killed by a fanfic? Oh, I gotta. What do you mean the show that was killed by a
Excuse you?
fanfic?
I'm sorry?
I thought that was Ruby.
No, it was. No, I mean, as far as Danny Phantom goes, like, they kind of wrapped it up. Like, they kind of
Yeah, they
had a
did.
conclusion.
Yeah, they were able to finish.
Didn't the creator want to like come back and continue it after like that? What was it? That cliffhanger ending, or was that the movie? I can't remember.
No, yeah,
Oh.
basically, yeah, Butch Hartman wanted to come back and keep making more episodes of Danny Phantom, but the Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon both denied him, mostly because the fandom that wanted more Danny Phantom weren't exactly kids anymore or watching TV.
Yeah.
And then it turns out that Butch Hartman was fucking insane, so it worked out for everyone.
Yeah,
He was,
but that's the kind of insane you can
Moderately
work with.
unhinged.
Yeah, mildly unhinged.
putting it lightly. But yeah. And then of course someone at Cartoon Network had a brain blast. And I was like, hey, what if we let Samurai Jack finish, but we let it finish on Adult Swim?
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's like, oh, damn. Okay, that worked out super well. Turns
Yeah.
out, if you just adapt the source, if you adapt the material to the now grown-up audience, they'll still enjoy it. Who would have thought? not sure what you do with Danny Phantom at that point, though, but you have a good end, you leave it alone.
Yeah. Now I do want to cover a couple topics before we do dive right into the story here. I think we're probably gonna skip this one because it is a hurt, comfort, angst story. So if anyone has angst
Oh my
written
God.
down, go ahead and mark that off. So Sign is finally getting into the sex on Zuko. And so, we're all going to have to carefully watch him, not the story, him, to make sure that he doesn't start furiously masturbating the keyboard when he writes future chapters. So, we'll have to keep an eye out on that one. The other thing that I was going to say, was really important. What's the other thing I was going to say? Damn. What was the other thing I was going to say? That's crazy. Oh, fucking, it's coming to me and escaping me at the same time. This is actually very frustrating. Something with, oh, this is frustrating. It's like, it's not on the tip of my tongue, but it is like, I know what it is, and yet I don't.
What is this?
But it's not on the tip of my tongue because I can't even describe what I know what it is. So if I could describe it, I could probably figure it out, but I can't even get the description.
God, I hate that fucking feeling.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
You got a brain.
You know a thing. You know a thing, but you don't know what the thing is. You don't know what you know about the thing.
Yeah.
Woo. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's mindfuckery.
It wasn't. It was an issue I was having with people. Doing a certain thing. Fuck. Wasn't. Was it with writing? Certain thing with writing. Was it? This is actually pissing me off now. Fuck. Yeah, no, I definitely feel like it was something with writing, cause I was reading a fanfic earlier, and I got irritated by something in the fanfic, cause it was something that people were doing very frequently that was just kind of irritating in a story. And now I'm just blanking on it completely. Oh, this is gonna piss me off. It's gonna bother me the entire fucking stream, let me tell you. Alright, well, I'm gonna go get an alcoholic drink because I'm pissed.
Well, that's one reason to drink, I suppose.
Cheers, bro. I'll drink to that.
Exactly. Exactly.
Trying to figure out if that's better or worse than getting drunk just to get drunk.
Probably better. I think. I like to think it's better than getting drunk to get drunk.
Unless you're Hank Williams Jr.
Nice, Gray.
So, Sign.
Yes.
How are you? How is life? Read to us about the life and times of Sign.
I had a water leak I had to fix across the last 3 days. I had to track it down. I had to buy tools. And then I had to fix the fucker. And it was a pain in the ass. So, Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that
that
kind of
sounds right.
impacted my writing a little bit. uh, oh, by the way, if you ever get into dealing with PEX and PEX crimps and shit like that, never buy the $70 tool that is made specifically to crimp PEX crimps. Skip all of that and buy shark bite
No
fittings that go
shit.
over
Shark bite
things.
fittings are the best.
Yeah.
And you call yourself a
Well,
fucking swamp creature?
yeah, no. See, I didn't see them at the hardware store. They did not
No,
have them that day.
that's
I
fair.
was expressly looking for the shark bite stuff. They didn't have them. Call my buddy, hey, do you have the $70 fucking crimper for this? He's like, nope, just get shark bite. No shit. So I had to run out of town to go get one from the next town over.
Amazing.
Yeah. Pain in the ass.
No,
But it
it's
worked.
definitely something to do with writing. It is definitely something to do with writing.
Weren't you bitching about something in the server to do with writing earlier?
I don't know, where was I?
I don't remember. I wasn't paying attention. I was mostly writing Tanya.
That's fair.
I had to have her defend her war crimes that are totally not war crimes because it wasn't illegal at the time she did it.
Also during a war.
Also during a war, yes. Had her defend a Rin.
Hmm. A classic I'm sure will go over fantastically with QQ.
I foresee no issues.
TLDR version. Well, if they didn't want to get bombed, maybe they shouldn't have picked a fight.
Amazing.
Man, this is actually going to irritate me significantly. Was it something political? No. No, it was definitely to do with writing. It definitely had something to do with reading and writing and some sort of habit that people were doing and I didn't like.
I was about to say, if it was something political, you oftentimes bitch to me when that kind of stuff comes
Yeah,
up.
that's what I was saying. Like, that's why I didn't think it was something political, because I definitely would have messaged you about it.
Yeah, because you said the political, like, he hasn't messaged me about anything recently that's pissed him off.
Yeah. Oh, that's so fucking tasty. Oh, Kahlua.
Oh, good. Elder Scrolls Online is on sale for $5. They're not still doing a subscription service, are
Yes,
they?
they are.
They are.
Ugh.
Yeah, no. And how much is the subscription service yearly?
12.
Or monthly, rather.
Too much.
It's 12, 10, 15, something like that.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah.
I'm not paying you $120 a year to play your game.
No, did that, no. Man, this is just generally... Genuinely frustrating, I have to say. This is actually, like, this is actually bothering me.
Do you remember, like, bits about what trend or you were seeing or something? Maybe just list it out? Maybe
That's what I'm saying. Like, if I could get a scrap of what I'm trying to remember, I could easily work it out. But the problem is, it's just not fucking there. Because the
Sneaky
problem
over here,
is, right?
Alzheimer's.
Well, it's not really Alzheimer's. It's more to that just my approach to life is if something bothers me, I move on and forget it because I don't fucking care. Like 99% of the things that genuinely bother me, I'll complain once about it to someone and then move on and forget about it because it's like it's not like I can do anything about it, you know.
I would say it's a
Fair.
healthy way to live, believe it or not.
Surprisingly, right? Considering who it is.
What? I'm healthy. Yes.
Surprisingly, he is.
Nothing to do with systems. No. It was it was less a construction method and more of like a one of those habits that show up in stories, I think. You know. Like Hartman, and then I was talking about... Nah, not gonna remember it. All right, well, let's move on. Another fucking angst story. Never mind. Moving on. Dawn and Danny Phantom. Danny Fenton with twin sister Dawn Fenton were just ordinary teen until lab accident turned them half ghost. Now watch as they go on continuous adventures fighting off ghost and human alike. Look out, world, here comes female OC. Rated M for sex.
With his sister.
God, I hope not.
The answer is absolutely with his sister.
Oh, dude. Well, it beats with his clone. Female clone.
That's...
Does it?
What?
I mean...
You don't remember Danny Phantom, spelled with an I?
Yes, I remember, and I also remember that while she had a crush, he didn't, and then she got over it, and it was more like sibling shit.
That does
Yeah.
not matter to fanfiction. So,
Yeah.
That it does for what you just said, because you implied that there was more to that in the canon. Also, does Sign have any L's still built up from previous streams?
No, Sign is
Yeah.
L free right
I'm
now.
fresh out of L's.
I don't believe
Yeah.
that.
No, he'll craft more up. I'm sure he's working on one right now.
Hold up, I'm
I've got
going
a
on
Metal
G7
Gear
to
right
find
now.
what he's posted.
That won't stop you, Sign.
This is definitely this is definitely oh god.
No? Oh, that sounds interesting. Go ahead.
This is definitely a woman author.
Mhm.
They have 125 favorite cartoons.
Of course.
Woo!
I kind of feel like the word favorite is being diluted here. You know,
They
it's like
enjoyed 125.
well, yeah, but you know, it's like they're saying that they have favorite cartoons, the 125. It's like, yeah, this is my top 125 cartoons. It's like, have you watched more than 125 cartoons? If so, how many
Yes.
more? Because if 9 of 10 cartoons you watch is your favorite, I feel like you need a new criteria.
True.
Like, I've watched a lot of movies. I'll say, like, 6 of them are my favorites.
None of these involved ones past 2020, I think.
I mean, to be fair, nothing past 2020 deserves to be liked, so,
Yeah.
you know.
Favorite
Top
anime,
5
yeah.
favorite anime, One Piece.
Well, now, hang on.
Opinion disregarded.
Frieren came out.
No,
Frieren came out after 2020.
That's not a cartoon.
that's a anime.
No, that's an anime. But you
Yes.
It's
said
not in
nothing.
the cartoon list. I said in the
after
cartoon
2020.
list.
We're talking about
Yeah,
cartoons.
he was
List.
talking about cartoons.
Okay, explicitly the cartoon
Brand-
list.
Brand
Cool.
new animal. What the hell is that?
I believe that's furry.
Oh,
Of
that
course.
that was
Ugh.
also. Why did my brain
Oh!
just suddenly break on who that was from? It's from the same team for
Is that
Beastars.
Beastars? Oh,
It might be a
No.
Beastars sequel?
no,
Based
no,
on-
brand new animal. God, why do I
it's the
remember the
raccoon girl.
fucking?
I remember people getting horny over her.
Wait,
I
Excuse you?
suddenly
when did
can't
Snuffy get a
remember.
fucking...
What?
Yeah. When
Yeah,
did Snuffy get
B&A
an
was
anime?
like, I'm pretty sure B&A was like 2019, 2020.
Was it
The reason people
really?
didn't hear about it was because it was Netflix.
Yeah.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, it was
I think
Netflix.
think it's Trigger. Pretty sure it's Studio Trigger.
Forcefully transformed into a raccoon beastman, Michiru seeks refuge with the aid of a wolf beastman named Shiro inside Anime City.
Oh my. Anime City, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's gonna be gay furry.
Oh, I mean, the main character's a girl, it looks like.
Beastman is just the species, not actual man. It's a young teenage girl who suddenly turns into a raccoon.
Yeah, sign. This is not.
Gotcha.
This is Japan. We ain't beast womaning here. This is.
I thought it was female author syndrome.
Okay,
No.
April 8th.
I mean, it is female author syndrome, probably because of, you know.
Brand new animal is
furries.
5 years old. April 8th, 2020.
I mean, I don't know how they got Trigger to work on this, but goddamn.
Money.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest.
Blackmail.
Trigger's just like, you got money, we got skill.
Oh no, no
gonna be honest.
original Japanese male director. All right, fair enough. Shocking. 53 years old.
Anyways.
A little bit old to be
Anyways, on that author's profile, I more judge Fairy Tail and My Hero being on there than anything.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know, like, you know, they came out and said One Piece is their favorite anime, and like opinion disregarded, I guess.
I mean, I do enjoy One Piece. Would I call
Yeah,
it my
but
favorite?
there's a difference between saying I enjoy One Piece and One Piece is the best anime that was ever made.
Well, apparently they said there's 9 anime that's the best ever made, so...
Well, no, then they immediately afterwards, they list their top 5.
Oh,
and
really?
they list One Piece as number 1.
That's weird. Yeah, okay, that's hidden by the chat box. That's why we didn't see it on the
Yeah,
screen.
we can't see that.
That's
oh, there you go, revealed.
Those are some bold claims. Good sir, could I interest you in some Cowboy Bebop? Perhaps some
They're
Trigun?
also claiming that Fairy Tail is better than the original Dragon Ball.
Blatantly
The
false.
fuck you say?
No.
That's absolutely false.
Also, they're claiming that
that's
Dragon
heresy.
Ball Z is better than Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Super.
Unless they've done the thing where they put all of Dragon Ball Z, but it means all of the series.
No,
instead.
because they list out Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Super separately.
Yeah. I don't agree with that because I think Dragon Ball Z is not as good as Dragon Ball, and Dragon Ball Z, quite frankly, did peak with the Cell Saga.
Yeah.
And Dragon Ball Super is just really fun. Turn my brain off and watch this stupid power scaling get out of control because Toriyama tried to convince him it was a bad idea, and they said no, keep going. I said fine. Fuck.
So,
while enjoying the music.
I'm going to be a bit misogynistic here. But I want everyone to stay with me.
I don't think this is gonna go as well as you think it's gonna go.
I think
is it...
putting favorite Disney channels on any profile anywhere ever
is a female thing over a male.
It's just a massive red flag for female author, yeah.
Especially because some of those aren't even spelt right. Hannah Montana.
Yeah, no, isn't that it? No, that's where she's missing an H, yeah.
And it's not double N for Montana.
Yeah.
We're in an awful timeline.
Yeah. Why is that?
The ad break, because one of the forced ad breaks just started, and the first one was McDonald's new Minecraft toys.
Oh,
wait, you guys are getting ad breaks on this?
Yeah.
You guys are getting ad breaks on the stream?
I appreciate Max being my only ad watcher.
I have to see ads too.
He contributes to his eventual payday 20 years down the line.
Is it because I'm subbed that I don't get ads?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
not subbed either, you idiot.
I'm sorry, I'm not subbing to the guy I work for, technically speaking.
You should pay me so I can pay you.
That's one of those things where, like, I see moderators who are subbed to the people they mod for. It's like, no. That should just be a fucking thing.
That'd be like the cameraman subbing to a girl's OnlyFans.
True.
I mean...
They do.
They do.
They do. That's why it's pathetic. You already see it. You're recording it.
Complete
Oh,
simple behavior.
you know,
But yeah,
this show,
Is
that
this a Waverly
fucking Disney
Place's top
Channel
10
list was
Disney
just
show?
like,
That was
you have
Girlboss, the
everything
Girlboss
from
series.
the best Disney had to offer
yeah,
to what the fuck is this?
yeah.
I'm not
Sweet Life
surprised
of
with
Zack and Cody. That was fucking. That was a solid show.
Yeah, it was. Sweet
Mm.
Life on
Sorry,
Deck,
in the
where it
house
ran its
was-
out
No,
too far.
I
Didn't
feel like
believe
Sweet
it.
Life of Zack and Cody kind of really burnt itself out like early. Like,
Yeah.
my sister
It
watched
didn't-
it religiously, because she had a crush on one of the boys, and
Oh.
like it kind of like I kind of started noticing the jokes getting repeated
Yes.
pretty constantly.
Yeah.
So
Wizards of
Yeah.
Waverly Place was the same,
That-
except its main
that
character was
tends to
girlbossing
be
every
how-
girlboss everywhere. She girlbossed.
That
yeah.
tends to be how sitcoms go. Generally, there are a
Mhm.
handful of reoccurring jokes and gags.
No. It wasn't a reoccurring joke in the same way that it's constantly referenced as like a skit. I'm
Sweet
talking
Life
about
was
they
as
they
the-
reused the joke.
It's as if they forgot they already used the joke and used it again, going, "This is going to be good. This will get us
Yeah.
viewers." And yet they
Yeah.
never reused Am or Fim.
Yeah. Truly.
Mr.
Devastating.
Woolsby was the best character there.
Now Disney movies is a little bit better to put on your profile. I still feel like that's a little bit too specific to not red flag yourself. But I mean, most of
Only
these
though it's
Disney movies are good. So
I wouldn't put all
Yeah.
movies for Toy Story because they're still fucking releasing Toy Story movies and they're not great.
yeah, no, I honestly like the first two, and that's about it.
Yeah, the first two were good.
Yeah,
Wall-E should be higher.
yeah, Wall-E should be higher. Lilo and Stitch, the original, was pretty solid.
Even
Oh, that was great.
even two
Yeah.
where we thought Stitch was fucking dying was great.
Yeah. Now, I will say The
Honestly-
Incredibles, I'm really mixed on The Incredibles, right? Because The Incredibles is actually a good movie.
The first
But
one.
someone pointed out the messaging to me in it, and I kind of like had a moment of like, shit, you're right. Because the
Yep.
messaging in The Incredibles is that the elite should stay the elite, and that making normal
Mhm.
people the elite is bad, and we should stay normal, and we shouldn't be special.
And we shouldn't try essentially, which is what
Yeah.
the villain of the first movie tried to do, was to be special.
Yeah,
When
yeah, we
everyone's
shouldn't.
special. No one's special.
Yeah. So it's like,
And then even the elite, the heroes, aren't special because they're slaving away at a 9 to 5 until the villain comes.
Yeah, but they're slaving away at a 9 to 5, but they're also being provided all your money by the government.
Yeah.
Well, keep in mind the only reason that they were doing a 9 to 5 is because they weren't allowed to be heroes any longer. Remember, like heroes went
Mhm.
undercover after
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
that big
witness
lawsuit.
protection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only reason they were doing a 9 to 5. Prior to that,
Protect.
it was heavily implied that they were receiving some sort of stipend from the government in exchange
Yeah.
for, keeping shit safe and in one piece. Relatively in one piece.
And then Mr. Incredible caused a lot of collateral damage, didn't he? Which is when that sort of stopped.
He caused a lot of collateral damage by stopping a train that was about to crash into another train.
Yeah, and very specifically,
Oh.
there was a guy that didn't want to die that he saved him, and the guy's like,
No, he didn't want to live.
yeah, he
Yeah, he
didn't want to
wanted to
live,
die.
and he saved him, and the guy's like, well,
I didn't ask
I
you
was
to
trying to
save me.
die, and now all these medical bills are your problem.
Yeah, you broke like 3 ribs in both my arms, and now I'm gonna be
And then-
suffering and in pain.
Yeah.
And then after the train, it was they had seen this guy got his payday, so everybody who was on the train turned around and sued him, and the government's like, okay, we can't. We see where
The other
this is
message of the
going."
movie
no,
is that
no,
insurance
he didn't-
companies are
no,
more evil than literal supervillains.
No,
I
he-
mean,
he didn't-
yes.
They didn't see him get the payday. They all also had hospital bills due to that. That's stacked on top of this suicide prevention.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
They
yes, but
They didn't see the payday happen. They were looking to get theirs at the exact same time.
yeah, it was at the same time. But either way, it was the government goes, "Oh shit, we see where this is going," and with public support turning away from superheroes, they basically had them go underground.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I 100% agree. The other message of the movie was, in fact, that insurance companies are more evil than supervillains. 100%.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
But I mean, you just got to
they're
keep in
fucking
mind that
terrible.
insurance companies are literally Ponzi schemes, effectively. So.
All Aladdin movies at number 5 when people really only remember the first one, even though I did.
I
watch
mean,
all
the
of them.
first
Now,
one's
see,
the only
what-
one
remember
worth
the first
remembering.
two.
What I was
Oh,
gonna
the
say
sorry,
second
the
one
live
was
action.
good.
before we hop on Aladdin, I was gonna say this is why I prefer The Incredibles 2, where
Mm.
the message is about a dad who wasn't there learning how to be a dad.
Yeah,
I do like the second one,
yeah.
even
Yeah.
though it's
It
got
wasn't
some
as good.
moments.
Wasn't as good
No,
as the first, but it was still a good movie.
I did not like the messaging around Helen specifically,
Oh, yeah, that's fair, yeah.
Yeah.
with the whole
Yeah.
you can do better, you don't need to let your marriage dictate your life. You need to go out and do your thing, girl power.
But like, there's actually
That's
nothing
mean,
wrong with that.
Yeah, but
I
the
think
thing,
part of
Stein, is
the
the thing is, Stein. Yeah, sorry, you go.
there's an entire half of the messaging that Sign is missing, which is, by the way, it's important to have open communication in a relationship as important as a marriage, and you really shouldn't go at
Yes.
it alone, which Bob had to learn in the first one, and for some reason Helen
Mhm.
had to relearn in the second, despite having gotten it through Bob's head in the first one. Keeping in mind, by
That's
the way, these movies are literally 3 hours apart in
Right?
universe.
Yeah.
3 hours apart. I didn't even
Yeah,
realize
they
that.
are.
Yeah,
they are not
they're-
far
they're-
They
apart.
are very.
Not even 3 hours, like 30 seconds.
Oh,
The first movie ends with the mole, and then the second movie
And the second one
begins
picks up
with the
right
mole.
with it.
Yeah. Quite literally, yeah, it's
because I didn't remember that.
continuous.
Because I was thinking it was just Helen as a normal adult going through a midlife crisis, so that's why she had to relearn.
Well, no,
lessons and
that's what it
Right.
is.
Hey, she was.
Yeah,
She got
it
to have her
is.
midlife crisis. That was kind of the point of the movie,
Yeah.
but it was
And Bob
just
had
it was
his in the
annoying
first
because
one.
it's like
Mm.
she helped her husband understand the importance of communication in a marriage, and then magically forgot that herself literally less than a week or two later.
Yeah.
Yup.
Yeah.
That's the big problem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I mean, I could say some things there, but, we'll just move on
I was gonna
instead.
say, ignoring Sneaky saying something that would probably get us in trouble, it's entirely
But I'm
possible
right!
for someone to teach a lesson and not understand the assignment themselves. Like, that's a pretty
True.
human thing.
Yeah, self-blindness is a pretty common
True.
thing, so it's not terrible, but,
I
the
wanna be clear,
problem
I
is,
agree
is
with Max.
that...
It's annoying.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's also narratively, it weakens the whole thing because it's one of those reality meets fiction things in that where technically speaking, this is real, but if you put it in fiction, people just get frustrated.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they go,
Yeah.
why don't they just talk to each other?
Yeah,
Well,
it's
because then the story wouldn't happen.
like that's one of those problems that even fans of Gundam Seed had with Seed Destiny. Several characters had development over the course of the first one that the writers just threw out the window for the second one to
And then they threw it out.
redo.
They had that
I-
development in Seed Destiny again, and they threw it out the window for the movie.
I would
Yeah.
actually like to see a story eventually do a double bluff subversion, which is where the start of the story is the kid, thinking they have to do it alone and the adults aren't going to help, and then finally, they get caught by one of the adults, and the adult's like, just explain to me what the problem is, and the kid finally is like, okay, fine, I'll explain to you. And he explains to the adult the problem, and the adult's like, okay, gives a phone call, it gets settled, they fix the problem, and then it's like, okay, well, I guess the movie's gonna go in a different direction now. And then, an explosion or something fucking happens, and, the government building gets collapsed. And the adult's like, oh, we're probably gonna need to to fix that on our own, actually, after all.
The adult
You
looks at the
should.
kid. New plan?
New
We're
plan.
fixing that ourselves.
Yep. It's
plan.
like I said, it's a double bluff subversion where it bluffs you into thinking it's going to be a subversion, but then actually they have to do it anyway.
I think the action genre calls that a double cross.
No, that's not a double
No,
cross. Nobody
that's not a
betrayed
double
anybody.
cross. Yeah, there's no betrayals.
No, well, no. What you described is what would normally come out of like a double cross. Like, oh, don't worry, I'll make a call. All right, everything's fixed, and then the climax is everything's not fixed because the person I called actually is the problem you were trying to solve. My bad. That
No,
that
yeah,
does
that's
occur
I
in
suppose, yeah.
some action movies. So
Well, yeah.
we get that. You're hoping for a non-violent one, I guess.
No, just no betrayal. Like, there was no betrayal involved. It was like, the kid, like, finds out about, like, I don't know, assassination attempt, thinks they have to stop it themselves. And then the adult, like, captures them, finally stops them, makes them explain everything. And, normally in scenes like that, like, the kid, like, breaks out, Like, they like, look at the window, and they're like, oh, if I, jump here and then lean on this, I can pry the window open and get out and stop them. But in actuality, the adult comes back too quickly, they sit the kid down, they talk about it, the adult's like, oh, yeah, that's pretty credible, actually, let me just give him a call, and they call him, and they tell him the information, they're like, okay, good, well they're going to increase security around the guy and look out for the thing you talked about. And yeah, then the explosion happens, and it's like, oh...
Too late.
Shit. We got egg on
Well.
our faces.
I think we're gonna need to figure it out on our own after all. While Bo has some funny child does hidden stuff, tries to hide it from parent, parent finds out moments. Everyone knows about Taylor, but Pale they did it best, where angry black woman literally kills the hidden friend group of her daughter. That's pretty funny. That is pretty funny.
Did anybody actually read Pale?
Phoenix.
People read that?
One person.
One person.
Yeah, Phoenix.
Now, since this is a show about fanfiction, Max, you and I have some wonderful fanfiction we can talk about. The new
Do
Gundam.
you? Oh.
God.
Jersey Gundam.
Jersey Gundam.
I still don't know how to feel about it, but the basics is they are explicitly mentioning important characters from the original Universal Century
Wow.
Gundam. They are outright naming other stuff, and it's like, oh, this is an alternate history fanfic that was approved for production. Okay. I don't know what I want out of this, but I'm gonna give it a shot.
I am
To be
really
clear,
disappointed in this author.
They quite literally show you at the end of the first episode, they literally just go, okay, the first episode of Gundam never happened. Amuro died, or he didn't go look for the Gundam. We don't know what. He didn't get in the Gundam. Char got in the Gundam. Zeon wins.
Okay.
Interesting.
All things lead to Gundam.
Yeah, so this author is putting Infinity War over the first Iron Man. And they're also saying the original Incredible Hulk movie is better than the original Iron Man.
Okay.
Okay, I was with them for a second.
No, they put Infinity War and Endgame together.
Wait.
Spider-Man: Homecoming, America's Civil War, Thor:
Okay.
Ragnarok. What?
So
They're saying
First
Age
off,
of
you said-
Ultron is better than Iron Man.
hang on a second.
Fuck
You
off.
said is it the Incredible Hulk or Angstrom
Incredible.
Hulk from like
The Incredible
2003?
Hulk.
Okay, so that was the only Hulk movie they ever got for MCU. But
Yeah.
okay, Infinity War Endgame are arguably better than Iron Man if you've experienced everything leading up to them, because it's a massive payoff of several plot points.
I mean, I
Yeah,
did.
but-
I just
but-
don't feel
The
My-
issue is, can I finish?
well,
The problem, it can't be enjoyed in a vacuum,
yeah.
and it's not as you needed 2 movies for one
Yeah.
story. They're not as tight as the first Iron Man. I will absolutely agree. Like thinking about it, I think I would rewatch the original Iron Man
Yeah.
sooner than I would Infinity War or Endgame.
Mhm.
Because
I mean,
Iron Man the first Iron Man is a good, nice, tightly packaged story. You can end exactly on that final
Well,
line of I am
I-
Iron Man, and that's
I
it. You
think
don't have
that's
to
my
say
problem,
anything
right?
else.
Like the early MCU movies were all made with the assumption that they might not be able to create the cinematic universe. So they
Yeah.
Or even
made
a
all of
sequel.
the movies packed together. Like they were a
They-
self-contained bubble.
They were all working towards the first Avengers movie. We know that for
Yeah.
a fact, but they still left them open-ended enough that this is a solid movie by itself.
Yeah.
But we've also left an open-ended thing of like, maybe there's more. Maybe we're
Yeah.
done. You can imagine whatever you want to be the end of it. Like,
Yeah.
And they did
It-
that for like pretty much everything up until the Avengers, and then the Avengers was pretty good. Like it had the payoff, it was solid.
honestly, the first Avengers might actually be better than
Yeah.
Infinity and Endgame for that exact
Yeah,
reason. In all
exactly.
because
Well,
there weren't a
Yes.
dozen
I
plot
think
points
the
to cut.
issue I have with Infinity and Endgame is the Infinity and Endgame stuff. Basically it was kind of like Sign's JK story, or basically any story that's not Zuko and Toe
Kiss my
and
ass.
Star Wars Tanya.
Mm.
So basically, all of Old Sign's works, he suffers from massive character bloat, and I think that's exactly
Yeah.
what happens in Infinity War as well, where they're like, "Oh, okay, we got to make sure each
Yeah.
character gets 5 minutes on screen."
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine.
Mhm.
And
And
then
then-
Endgame had an
Yeah.
issue of like, look, we called all the warriors, and then it's like, wait,
Who are
5 of
people?
these characters didn't earn these spots, and you're putting a
Yeah.
lot of focus on them, which kind of ruined it for
Yeah.
me. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm not mad for the reasons they were accusing people of being mad of. I'm mad because they didn't earn that spot.
Mm.
And then, like, the solution they had to the snapping was really lame. And it was like they had the whole fucking timeline bullshittery.
Well,
And-
no, hang on. Everyone who knew excuse me, who knew Marvel figured they're gonna do some time travel. They're gonna get the stones back, and then they're gonna unsnap people. That's
Yeah,
No,
but
hang on,
the-
to be
that
clear,
was the payoff.
that is more or less what was required in the actual storyline.
Yeah.
I'm aware. My issue is more along the lines of the fact that they did this whole like, oh, we're gonna go to other parallel universes and take their Infinity Stones, which would actually depower the Infinity Stones as per normal canon. But we're just going to ignore that in Marvel movie canon because that would make things harder. And then we're gonna.
No, they just
didn't
went back
go
in
to
time.
parallel
They did
realities.
not go back in
went-
time.
No, they
They-
went back in time.
They did not go
Switching
back in
them.
time. They specifically got the time stone from a timeline that was collapsing because they lost.
Mm.
Like-
No, they got the time stone specifically from the old woman. Before
Yes.
Stephen Strange got there, it had not
No.
collapsed. It was not about to collapse.
It was a failed
N-
timeline. She explicitly says, what's going to prevent my timeline from having a bad end because you took the stone.
And then they come and then they say, "Well, that's because we'll just bring it back."
We will
and it'll
totally
all
bring
loop
it
back
back,
into the
we
original one.
promise.
And they
Yeah. Well, yes, of course they did. That's not the point. Is that she's
They did 'cause they're
specifically
heroes.
pointing out that it's not their timeline. It is
did. No, because they
different
created a new
timeline.
when they went back. It branched off, and then when they brought the thing back, it branched back in.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure the whole point was that if you don't bring this back, it makes a new timeline that becomes a failure, and I don't know if I can risk that.
Yes,
Yeah, that was what
exactly.
it
And
was.
They
by bringing it
explained
back,
it
it branched back in.
poorly in most regards they explained it poorly, but like I'm pretty sure that was
No,
explained.
it was, but
If you don't bring it back, I'm now in a split timeline. So if you don't bring this back in time, you just killed a brand new
Everyone.
reality that you created.
Yes.
Yep.
But
Which-
no, but it also
That's
wasn't
okay.
even their original reality, right? Because fucking Captain
would be
America
that.
ended up going back in time to become old.
Yep, he refused to
Well,
come back. He went to go live his life.
They explained that by going, well, he stayed out of all the events, so it may as well
That-
have been the same timeline.
That
he
doesn't
could
matter
have
because
been there
a
the
single
whole
person
time.
being a time traveler would still massively change the world. That does
I
not
know
matter
this,
if he stayed out
you
of it.
know this, but as far as they're concerned,
Small
That is
Ronnie
what
agrees
happened.
with me.
Small Ronnie agrees with you. Okay,
Yes,
I can't contradict Small Ronnie.
exactly.
Also, everyone here is talking about the Avengers shit. What's more important, they put Thor Ragnarok at 4.
Yeah, Thor Ragnarok was dog shit. I'm sorry. Like literally, Thor Ragnarok had
Incorrect
good
opinions
jokes.
detected
It had
about
good
Thor
jokes.
Ragnarok.
Now,
was
I'm
terrible
not
fucking
saying what.
Terrible fucking movie.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I'm not saying that Thor Ragnarok wasn't funny. It had funny moments. There was good lines. Overall, it was a dog shit fucking movie.
Yes. And they've got
Like-
that at 4 above regular Avengers and Iron Man.
Yeah, it's better than all
We've
of the
already
Thor
established
movies.
this guy's
It's
retarded.
better than all of the Iron Man movies. It's like, excuse fucking you?
Well,
Regular Thor is
Again-
not even on that list.
I know, it's
we've
crazy.
established that this guy is retarded. So,
Woman.
Well, no,
oh, I'm sorry, this woman is
next-
retarded.
favorite DCEU movies. Number 1 is Shazam.
That's terrible.
Ugh.
Is
But
what?
now, you know, it makes
Shazam.
sense if you think
Damn.
about it. It is a woman.
And then number 2 is Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey.
Which makes sense if they're a woman.
Number 3,
Hang on, okay.
Man of Steel.
Birds of Prey is far from
Terrible.
the worst movie to come out of DC.
Yeah.
Whoa, oh wow. Oh wow. Oh, you guys, it's not the
Wow.
worst movie.
I
You,
wasn't
you are really
finished.
stretching that.
I wasn't finished. Despite some of the scenes not making the most sense from a reality perspective, the entire sequence of Harley Quinn in the police station is a great piece of cinematography.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's what
that's
I'm
the-
saying. Like with Thor Ragnarok, there was moments that were perfectly fine in a vacuum.
In a vacuum, though.
In a vacuum. Unfortunately,
The
we are
man
not
in a
watching a
vacuum.
vacuum. We are watching a movie.
By the way, did they put is the original Thor even in their list?
No.
there, or is it-
No.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
They
No,
picked
it's not.
Ragnarok over the original Thor.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
I can see not having the second Thor movie on there. That movie sucked.
No one remembers the second Thor movie.
There was a
that-
second movie?
Yes, there was
Exactly.
a second movie. Something about dark elves. I don't fucking remember.
No, that was Ragnarok.
Yeah.
No, that
No.
wasn't
No, that
that
was
was Ragnarok.
Oh.
Ragnarok was
Dark
the
Age.
one.
Dark Age was the Dark Elf.
Dark Age.
Dark
I
Age.
I,
right.
leg- I
Dark Age,
legitimately
yeah.
couldn't. No, Dark World.
Dark,
Dark.
World.
I,
Wow.
I had a moment today because I'm like,
Jesus.
I
Holy
was like,
shit.
I should rewatch.
A movie
Phase
called Dark
1,
World about dark elves.
because
Hmm.
Phase 1 was such a good.
Mm,
Oh,
Right,
holy
it is you.
fuck.
Ragnarok is
Dark
when he
Yeah,
tries.
yeah, it was.
Yeah, Ragnarok is
Nothing.
where he faces Hulk in that arena.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah,
made
yeah.
it was
It's-
the
it's
best.
still
The
not number
best
4.
moment. The best moment in that entire movie was, yeah, I know him. He's from work.
my-
It's like, oh my. Loki
He's
trying
my-
to fucking hide.
Yeah.
He's my friend from work.
Yeah. And then Hulk just hits him.
Wait, does Thor
But,
end up on the fucking gladiator planet twice?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
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 No.
Yeah.
What do you mean,
There a
yes.
second time. Did
No,
he go
because
back in one of
Thor,
these?
no, Thor Ragnarok, he ends up on the gladiator planet, breaks out.
Yeah.
They have the whole running joke where the not the thing is going around saying, "Hey, we're starting a revolution. Want to come?"
Yeah.
And no, yeah, he was definitely on the gladiator. Yeah, no, he was on it twice.
Yeah.
But
Jesus Christ.
you know
When
what
was
I
the
just
second
read?
time?
You know what I
Ragnarok!
just Yeah.
No.
Wait, no, wait, no, all of that was Ragnarok. The whole
Yeah.
Thor
No, that's
scene
Ragnarok.
with Hulk was
Yes.
Ragnarok.
Yes,
Yes.
that's what we were. That's what I
Yeah.
said.
That's
No, I thought we were
what
talking
we've
about
been
Dark World.
explaining.
No.
No
I said,
one's
oh,
talking about
Ragnarok.
Dark World.
Come on. God damn it. I
We're
was
talking about
like,
Dark World for
I
it,
was
that Dark
so
World was a mistake.
confused. Yes.
Because I said, oh, Ragnarok's the one with the gladiator where he fucking fights Hulk.
Yeah,
That's what I
okay,
said.
yeah. No, like, yeah, no,
Also-
that movie had funny moments of the you know, the not thing, the, hey, we got a ship, wanna come? Hey, we're escaping, wanna come? Like, that was a funny delivery, and that was a decent gag, and, you know, you can't defeat me, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Mountain
He can.
explodes. He can.
Yeah, but yeah. Back to DCEU movies. Number 3's Man of Steel.
Yeah, that was, I mean,
Number 4,
I would
Justice
put
League
it at number
2017.
1.
Out of
Man of Steel was
DCEU
not
movies,
bad.
I probably would as well if you don't count some of the Batman movies as DCEU.
Well,
and not just
no,
alone.
DC Extended Universe, so all of the Batman movies
Yeah.
don't really count. Besides
Yeah, that's
Batman
why-
vs Superman, I think.
Yeah, that's why I probably wouldn't count all the Batman movies as part of the extended universe. So that's. I probably wouldn't
Personally,
put
I
Man
don't
of Steel.
even count Batman vs Superman non-Robot Chicken Edition to be even part of the DCEU. I personally
Unfortunately,
consider
that movie exists.
I personally consider the Robot Chicken version of Batman vs Superman to be the canon version of how those events played out.
Why?
Because it makes more fucking sense than what happened. Oh,
Yeah.
you have a mom too? I had a mom.
Oh,
Both
I
our
had a
moms
mom.
are dead. We should stop fighting.
My
Fucking.
mom was named Martha too.
Oh my
Oh
god,
my
I hated
God,
it
it was
so
so-
much.
Bro, I remember sitting in that theater and turning to my brother and going, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Wait, that was actually in the movie? I thought you were talking about some skit in Robot Chicken.
No,
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 to be
no, that's
very
real.
clear,
That's
No,
what
that
I'm
was
saying.
very
That's
clear.
what I'm
Batman
saying.
is in the the Bat power armor,
Yeah.
and he's getting crushed. And as he's getting crushed and dying, because as he's dying, he doesn't say "mom."
Martha,
says-
he says.
And Clark's like, "What the fuck did you just fucking say to me?"
Which was so fucking dumb. Who calls his mother by their first name?
I'm gonna be honest. There should have been an extended sequence where he's like, "Oh shit, I know this man's secret identity. I know his mother's name," and that was an attempted emotional manipulation because Batman absolutely does shit like that all the time.
Oh yeah.
But that's not what it was. It was him saying his own mother's name for some
Mother's
reason
name.
instead of.
As if he
being
was
like-
hallucinating her or something, but that wasn't shown.
Then it would have been mother, not
Yeah,
Not
Martha.
Martha.
Martha. Mm.
Again, who calls their mother by their name and not, mom,
Batman.
Martha?
Batman. Martha Wayne, I can save you.
Because he's Batman.
Batman.
He's Batman.
Yeah,
But he's
number
not
4
Batman.
is Justice. Yeah, no. Number 4, Justice League 2017, and number 5 is Wonder Woman. But
Wonder Woman
But-
is weird because it's not. Wonder
no,
Woman
the
is
thing is-
excessively mid.
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, with this is a female
Aggressively.
author because top 10 favorite MCU characters, 8 out of 10 of them are hot men. Number 1's Peter Parker, and her favorite
Yeah.
Spider-Man movies are the Tom Holland ones.
Also, most favorite DC movie is where a small child who is impressionable turns into a buff
Oh.
man with
Right.
power.
And that's her favorite
Yes.
DC character as well. Billy
Yeah.
Batson. Shazam. With
Yeah.
number 2
so
being
it's-
Harley Quinn, who would definitely groom a child.
Yeah. I mean, if, you know, Kill the
Would
Justice
mean
League
has.
We're not talking about
has
that.
groomed a child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 4 is Barry Allen Flash as DCEU, but I'm pretty sure that's the one with the actor that was. No, wait, that wasn't. Was that Barry
No, that's
Allen?
not him.
No.
That's not the piece of shit.
That's the TV show one instead, who everyone wished was the good one. Who wished was the movie in general
So
as well.
the TV show one was the good one. The movie one was
Movie.
the piece of shit.
Who somehow kept the job, didn't he?
Yes, somehow.
Not anymore, thank goodness, at least.
Not anymore?
No, not anymore. Ah, blah, blah.
But anyway,
got a
so
list. They've got a list of which Earths their stories are on, and it's just a sentence that we apparently are supposed to understand. Earth 1,
Amazing.
the Aurora-verse. Aurora in the Loud House.
yeah,
the
no, so
reckless
that's the
Miraculous.
names for all of their Earths, you know, because DC it likes doing that, or so they name all their Earths.
I mean, look, both of them are guilty of it. Very guilty of it.
Well, yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair, yeah.
But you don't add that to your fan fiction of multiple fucking Earths multiverse. That's just.
Yes, but I'm just saying. They're all guilty of it.
Yeah.
Someone who doesn't like their mom or kids raised by hippies. Eh. Anyway, so yeah, they have some very interesting opinions on what makes for an interesting story to waste their time on. And apparently that question and answer is every story I can insert myself into as an original character who joins the main cast. Sugar Spice, so they also did a Powerpuff Girls story. So just to be clear, the Danny and Dawn Phantom story that may or may not involve incest is a adventure family story that's 25 chapters long and 480,000 words. With only a mere 154 reviews and 175 favorites, they've been keeping it going for 5 years now, which is both very horrifying and impressive simultaneously. Powerpuff Kids, sugar, spice, and everything nice are the ingredients that create the perfect little girl, but Professor Utonium accidentally added a couple of ingredients.
Extra ingredient.
His blood and Chemical X. The Powerpuff Kids were instead born. Blossom, Bubbles, Buttercup, Blakely, and Zap. Apparently adding blood to it created 2 more Powerpuff Kids.
Why is this author
that is some
author...
insane conservation of energy happening in his blood there.
Yeah, that's
Bro,
pretty crazy.
what is his blood cooking with?
Yeah, you know.
Why is this author the female author version of Vimes Enthusiast as well, with fucking chapter length?
3 chapters, each 15k words long. I mean, no, that's not Vimes level. Vimes level is, hey guys, I just wrote a fucking novel.
No, that's start of Vimes level where I first found him was 15 to 20k.
That's fair.
That was decade ago Vimes Enthusiast.
Well, I mean, that's current Gray and me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you guys don't release it as fast as this person and Vimes does. You guys are releasing like once a year sometimes.
Well, we used to release really fast when both of us were unemployed.
Yeah, well, yeah, that makes sense.
When you were unemployed. Gee, yes. I wonder what you...
Hey, I was in college.
Yeah, that makes also sense.
So unemployed, yes.
So unemployed.
This person published
15k.
If this isn't pre-written, this was posted literally about 17 days ago, 45k words.
That's fair. Yeah, I mean that's about the speed we used to post at. I'm not a huge fan of the fact that they've already created a episode name listing for their Powerpuff Kids season. with a
Going-
pilot movie.
I think this
I'm
is a
sorry, what?
Yeah.
I think this author is somewhere born between 2000 and 2004.
Well, when did they join?
Joined 2014.
2014. Yeah, I would put them around 2001.
Because all of the things they're fucking talking about and they like is just around that time period that they grew up, that they would have grown up with. But
Did they mention
also-
Rocket Power?
Let me control F. Rocket.
They did not mention
No.
Rocket Power. Yep, nope, they were born past 2000s. Yep.
Yeah. Like, I would, in a really, like, max time period, be 2004, just because all the 2017 movies would have been when they would have gotten, like, all their crushes and stuff.
Oh, you're right. That is why they put them all higher.
Including Thor Ragnarok was 2017 as well.
Sexual attraction does it again.
Yeah.
They were too young to appreciate the good movies, and they were horny when the older ones came out.
Yeah.
That
Wow.
explains it. Thank you.
That's when they joined, and then I saw these lists. The only thing I could think of was post 2000, possibly around 2003 and 4, maybe max 2005, because some
Yeah.
girls go through puberty quicker than
That
men.
makes sense. That makes
A lot
sense.
do.
Yeah. That would do it. Yeah. Marvel Rivals.
Which is, do they have a Marvel Rivals fan fiction?
Miles Morales and Eddie Brock were expected to grow up and achieve greatness, but when two-dimensional spiders bite them and mutate their DNA, they now become something more than great. They had to be amazing, spectacular, ultimate. Watch out, New York. Here comes the one and only spider duo, Spider-Man and Venom.
Why?
When a spider bites Eddie Brock, he becomes Venom.
Not
Well,
the
he's
symbiote.
just calling himself Venom, not the symbiote.
God, I hope so.
But why would you do that?
Original character times Gwen
Ugh.
times Penny.
Because they want their original character to be Venom without the symbiote there, probably.
Oh,
by the way,
you're right.
Because I know most people here don't keep up. I know most people here don't keep up with comics. So they're doing a new Venom run, and they were like, the Venom symbiote.
I know who it is. Yeah.
The Venom symbiote's on somebody new. Who do you think they stuck it on?
Peter?
I don't know, Mary Jane.
No.
No, Miles Morales.
Nope.
No, so a lot of fans thought it was the guy who cucked Peter, whose children disappeared,
He did not cuck Peter.
or something like that, or people who thought he did.
I want to be really clear. Peter once again broke up with Mary Jane, and Mary Jane once again.
Oh, of course,
said,
obviously.
I'm done with this.
Yeah.
And then she just started dating another guy. There's no fucking cuckery, okay?
Well, the guy looked like he was a cuck.
It's
So
forced
you're saying
cuckery.
great,
Peter is
but
raising somebody
It's
else's
cucking the
kid.
audience.
Yeah.
Yes, it's cucking the audience.
I mean, sure, fine, but shut the fuck up.
God
Spider-Man's been doing
forbid
that for the last-
Spider-Man...
Spider-Man's been doing that for the last 40 years.
I know.
True.
God forbid Spider-Man actually has a good ending.
Right? They did, but that's why they went back with that cuck plot line, specifically to take away the good ending.
Yeah, and now to
Listen,
be fair, there is like one Marvel writer in the comics section who is obsessed with cucking with cucking Peter and like making his lives terrible. Like every single Spider-Man issue he ever works on, he's just like, no, how can I fucking shit on Peter today?
Yeah.
Yup.
It was also
Literally
implied
cucked
that it was
him
that
one
guy-
time with his
yeah.
own self-insert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Listen. There is a couple universes out there where Peter Parker gets a happy ending, and coincidentally, those ones happen to be the ones where he gets a daughter.
Mm.
Yes.
Mayday Parker, second best Spider Girl.
hmm
I'm sorry,
Second
she does unfortunately lose to the Japanese girl who has a spider mech.
Penny.
Oh, Spider
That's
Lily.
That's
Penny.
Penny Parker.
Yeah,
Oh,
But
so
listen,
that's
Mayday
who
Parker's
she's.
great, but
yeah, so this looks like it. This looks like when I read this fic, if it had the symbiote, I would look at this and think, oh, little girl symbiote OC. This has been inspired by Predatory.
Inspired by Predatory. God, I would
Woo-wee.
actually legitimately shoot myself, come back from the dead, and then hunt down the person who wrote the story if I ever saw the words inspired by Predatory by Signreal.
That is a cursed statement, and they must not be allowed to live.
Exactly.
Hilarious.
That is a crime against reality, and it must not
Yeah, that
stand.
sounds like something we need to make sure doesn't exist with a quick search.
Precisely.
I'm not typing that in.
All right. Starting author's note: Penny Parker will be aged up to match our OC's age. So no, this isn't.
I mean,
Wow, so brave.
Yeah.
Well, wait, no. How old is their OCs? That doesn't actually.
Old
The
enough
Frosty
that
Adventures
Penny
of
Lily
King
matters.
Ice.
16. They've made Penny 16 instead of 12. That's a sign age up if I've ever seen it.
What state are they in? New York? 16's legal in New York.
Of course you'd know that.
why do you just know that off the top of your head, motherfucker?
But yeah, that's why
Because
I said
it's
of course
New
you'd know that.
York. It would be lower if they could get away with it.
True.
Tell me I'm wrong.
True.
There are
Very
multiple
true.
southern states where it
But
can
that-
be lower.
Oh,
But
yes,
Stein,
absolutely.
that still
But
doesn't answer the question. How
do
do
you
you
know what
know
it
that
is?
so instantly off by heart?
because it's New York.
go-
Do you know what it
I
is
need
in
to
Washington,
drink
Yeah, but-
D.C.?
12.
Cheers, bro. Drink to that.
14.
Washington D.C. isn't real, so I don't care.
True. Very
Alright,
true.
let's
Washington, D.C. needs to
see.
detonate.
America's United
Burn it to
States.
the ground.
Is California the lowest age?
No, there's a bunch of southern states where
California-
there's a
hang
bunch
on.
of southern states where if the parents agree for the child to be married, it can be as low as like 14. I think one of them is
California's
12.
18.
I thought the original I thought it was matching the original Japanese of 13 with parent approval.
New York is 17. I'm sorry. They
Damn, that's
changed it.
crazy.
It has been raised by one lately. New Hampshire, New Jersey, New Mexico, Minnesota, all 13 by age, which means the Romeo and Juliet shit. By authority is what we're looking at, or unrestricted. All right, so let's see. What's the lowest here? A lot of them are just 16, 17. The highest is Washington State at 21.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, by age and authority, it does not go lower than 16. Except in... Oh, DC changed it. DC's back up to 16 by authority.
Yeah, I know. I know this was an actual issue in some of the Muslim enclaves out in the Midwest where they were having a lot of trouble enforcing the law concerning that because there's a lot of marrying of very young girls by parental approval.
Yes, that's where by authority comes in.
Well, that's what I'm
Like I
saying
said,
is there was a lot of clashes over that because they were doing it as low as like
Yep.
9 years old, and they were trying to enforce the law on them, and they were resisting.
But it's our culture.
True.
No, the lowest on the list is 13 by age.
Yeah, I knew there was one that was like, I was like, the only reason you made it 13 is that you can say it's a teenager.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
That's still a child.
Well, you know, there's a lot of things you can do as a child these days. Not drink or do drugs, but
Well, no, you can
Not
do that outside
drive.
of America. You can do
not
it
get a
outside of America.
tattoo.
Australia would argue that drinking one at that age. Thank you very much.
Yeah, see. Britain does. Britain,
Not
Germany,
legally.
and most
Not
of
legally.
Europe.
Not
No,
legally, but we'd still argue it.
In
Oh,
most
I
of
know.
Europe, they will legally allow you to drink at like what, 13, 14?
Oh, 6.
No.
They just
Parental
don't give
permission.
a fuck.
Parental permission. A single glass of wine only. Any more, and your parents get in trouble.
Well, that's at public events.
That's
Yes.
public.
Yes. And at
Um,
home, unless it spreads out to your neighbors or to the rest of the world, what you do at home is what you do at home, except unless it's
Actually,
abusive.
you know what? This person, I'm getting really mixed messages on some of their older stuff. Cause like their older stuff is all about guys having harems, but all their newer stuff is about a girl OC.
Who is this?
Right.
The author.
Same person we've been shitting on earlier for their movie tastes.
They
Yeah.
Well, their
Is it a
oldest
gender
stuff.
flipped?
No, I'm looking at their oldest stuff, and while it's a lot of OC men, it's all with one person. So essentially, that feels like it's more that they're imagining their dream man, and then their tastes keep changing. Because I'm not seeing much harem. There's a My Hero one, but that's it.
There was a fairy tale one, a Venom
Fairy Tail,
one.
I found a Shazam one, Shazam and the Guardians, apparently.
We found a Cauldron user. True. They are a massive Loud House fan, which does concern me.
Ugh.
One Piece. They're still
Depends on
updating their One Piece story.
I'm sorry, I've never liked One Piece.
Yeah.
Never will.
Yeah.
And then you haven't watched Fan Letter.
No, I'm
to
pretty
it.
firmly on the
One shot
One
OVA
Piece
Fan
train.
Letter. It's not even like One Piece or One Piece like that. Like Fan Letter is just one episode OVA that you don't even need to know One Piece. No, it's something that I would recommend to anyone.
Cool, cool. Ooh, they are a fan of Owl House. That is.
Yeah.
But are they a fan of the one with the gems?
That's a
And
good. Yes, actually, right before that is a Steven Universe story.
Oh no.
Yeah, sexual humor. Yeah. Oh, and it's a sex story involving children, because it lists Stephen and Connie as the romance, and they're both 12.
Okay.
I'm only seeing 4 harem stories. There's some where it's like 3, but it's mostly.
Is Owl House worse? You know what? That's a really hard question to answer. If Owl House is worse than Steven Universe, because I mean, on one hand, in Owl House you have pedophilia. On the other hand, in Steven Universe you have rape, a lot of rape.
Well, no, in Steven Universe you have pedophilic rape, don't you?
Oh, that's true. There is.
Yeah. Steven Universe is worse. Steven Universe is worse.
Definitely, yeah. Steven Universe is definitely worse.
What's the pedophilia in Owl House about? What the fuck's that going on there?
It was some adult character basically gaslighting a 12 or 13-year-old into having sexual opinions about things.
It's a female character, isn't it?
Yes.
Is it the one with the gray hair?
I don't know. It's just that's the only thing. They didn't really like Owl. The thing is with Owl House is it wasn't popular enough to get a community of people that were actively hating on it. I just know it because of offhanded mentions when talking about how bad Steven Universe is, and they're like, "Oh yeah, also Owl House did X."
Mm.
So I only know Owl House is bad in the
Yeah.
context of how terrible Steven Universe is.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
no, Steven Universe does have the pedophilic rape, so that I think that does beat everything else.
Yeah, I would think so.
Well, you know, that was
Mm.
a dark time. A dark time indeed.
Mm.
Yeah.
Didn't the guy who made that get
Girl.
arrested for?
Girl.
Oh, you're
I
talking
thought
about
it was
Owl
a
House.
guy,
Ah.
one or the other.
I
Got
think if
arrested.
you're talking about getting arrested, I'm pretty sure that's Owl House.
Got arrested for being a pedo.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure.
Was that Owl House or was that Loud House?
Loud House,
No,
maybe?
Loud House is the attempt at Full House, but with cartoons.
It was one of those shitty CalArts fucking animation things, like all of them are these days. So I know. Do you know how little that narrows it down? Not much. I'm aware.
Yeah, no, as far as it's listed, no, the creative Owl House never got arrested. Oh, was it Loud House? Was not arrested, however, he faces allegations of sexual harassment. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Yeah, I know. We don't really need to, yeah, I know. Yeah.
Of course. Man, where the fuck is this guy hiding?
But yeah, so yeah, sexual allegations. Yeah, Nickelodeon has a really bad habit of hiring people who are really creepy towards children.
Oh, I wonder. Makes you
Yeah,
wonder
it's
about
really
some things.
really odd how that keeps happening. No, okay, yeah, that's fair. No, I am seeing a maybe like a 60-40 split on female to male characters. So yeah, it might just be a case of yeah, no, the author's probably female, yeah. Yeah, Miraculous Ladybug, yeah,
Yeah.
lesbian. So
Hell of a boss.
I thought Miraculous
Yeah.
Ladybug was less lesbian, more femboy. Because of,
No.
the cat boy.
No.
No, the cat
No.
boy in the cat suit.
No,
No.
no,
No?
no. Very, very, very no.
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 No, it's very, very French with its approach towards a young female woman.
Yes.
So it's yeah. Okay.
Yes. Heroes of Might and Magic
Mm.
creator was arrested. Interesting. What was he arrested for?
Oh, fuck.
I hope drug charges.
The creator of what?
The creator of Might and Magic.
Oh, that. I've never seen that. I know what it is, though.
You mean Mighty Magiswords? Mighty Magiswords guy got arrested.
Oh.
Yeah, that.
Goddamn, how did no one look at this man
Yeah.
Oh, good
and
lord.
go, yeah, he probably has child porn.
Son,
Like, holy goddamn.
there's something wrong with him.
Oh my god.
There's looks photo.
Like, look, I am not
he looks
pro.
like a caricature.
Yeah, I know, right? That's what I'm saying. It's like, look, I'm not pro profiling, okay? I'm not pro
But
profiling.
I'm about to profile.
However-
profiling.
How?
Pasting right under his nose and then slightly turned above it. What the hell?
Sneaky has found his exception to the
Yeah.
rule of don't profile people.
Cass, that is from wearing a mask. That man is a masker.
You're right.
But he
That
didn't wear it over
is.
his nose.
Yeah.
But,
But he
didn't
isn't
wear
even wearing
over
it
his
right to the
nose.
He
Oh.
wore it. Well, no, he had to cover his other chin, so he couldn't wear it over
Yeah.
his nose. Oh my god!
Oh. Oh.
Imagine being
Oh.
so fat and retarded that you cover your double chin before you cover your nose on a mask.
Well, I mean, the typical kind of person who wore a mask wasn't exactly.
I'm aware.
mm,
A wolf, a wolf hiding among wolves in Hollywood. True.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you believe the Home Alone actor, if you throw a rock in Hollywood, you'll hit a pedophile. So.
Yeah. Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah.
Reminder: Macaulay Culkin spent a lot of time with Michael Jackson
Yeah.
in, Neverland Ranch.
Yeah.
Michael, who spent a lot of time with children
Yeah. At
and
Neverland
had some
Ranch.
things to say about some people.
No, to be fair, the family's been quite effective at proving innocence on that end for a majority of the accusations.
Have they?
Yeah,
So,
But
wait, you mean?
but still, profiling this guy is like, come on, guys. I think maybe we like one exception.
Maybe
listen.
maybe my rule isn't as hard set as I thought.
Like, listen. Sometimes you just see someone and you go, "Okay, I shouldn't
But I'm
profile
gonna.
somebody."
I
However-
shouldn't, but look at what's in
You know,
front of me.
sometimes you
Yeah.
see someone and you realize, wow, so that's the reason they made up the word profiling.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
use
So
my
that
fucking eyeballs
that's
on
how
this
they got the
one.
profiling template.
I'm just gonna use my eyeballs on this one, and
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, they say never judge a book by its cover, but what about if it's everything? Judge a book by its.
But this book is, well, its cover says pedophile, so
Well, no, it's not
Its
even
cover
that.
says
It's
it
like,
likes
they
children.
say don't judge a book by its cover, but what happens if the cover just explicitly explains what exactly the book is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
true.
What happens when the light novel tells me the time I reincarnated with my sister and groped her? I don't need nothing else. I'll take
No,
that.
whoa. Well, I will not accept this slander. The full title is The Time I Reincarnated as My Sister's Panties and Groped Her with the new gamer system given to me by gods as my cheat code.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get it
but,
right.
Sneaky.
You just really went all in on that one.
God damn it,
That
Sneaky.
really
Oh,
Oh, I'm
Here's the
sorry.
thing, Sneaky.
Did you
sounds
think
like
I made that up?
No, that's a real
No.
thing.
Wait, you didn't make
I'm
that up?
pretty sure. I'm
Do you
pretty
think
sure
I
he
made
half
that
of
up?
That title.
I
I want to
think
be
I-
clear.
I'm
Neither
pretty
of
sure.
us were making that up.
Oh,
No.
Yeah.
oh, that is
No,
Sneaky.
I was quoting.
Sneaky, provide the link.
no.
No, I really
The
don't
Wikipedia
want
link.
to.
The
Oh.
Wikipedia link.
It could be
Like-
worse. It could be that one with that time I reincarnated as my crush's pet dog.
Yeah.
In a
I
cry.
remember that one. Jesus fuck.
I think I got to see a clip from that recently.
I saw the drama
which
from that. one.
she slapped a corgi in the door. It's like, I don't know what the context is, and I don't want to know. Oh.
Yo-Yo, Gabba Gabba, Powerpuff Girls, and Clarence. Really? The original creator of 12 Forever, Julia Vickerman, has been assessed of being a pedophile once again. Due to these claims and her being fired
do you
due
mean,
to
once
inappropriate
again?
behavior.
Wow.
Wait, what do you mean I reincarnated and became my little sister? Wait, hold
Hold on.
That was
up!
not the story
Hold
we
on,
were
what?
thinking about.
Sweet Home
Well,
Alabama is
I've heard
confused.
that one. I've heard of that one as well, and then the guy in the little sister wants to do his own body.
Huh?
Yeah, I've actually. heard
I'm
of that
sorry,
one.
wait, no, the summary makes it worse!
Yep.
It gets
Whose
worse.
teenager life was always being bullied and enslaved by his sister made him unable to enjoy his high school life, so when he dies, he wakes up the next day as her.
So he was bullying himself the entire time.
Hmm?
Oh, that's just.
I got
confusing.
reincarnated as my own long-lost sister. But I'm gay.
Ew.
What?
What? Hold on. What?
I'm too
Hold
sober for
on.
this.
Wait, no, hang on.
Uh,
That time my little sister and I were reincarnated to another world and she's my monster wife?
Well, okay. Hang on. You've got my attention now.
No, signed bad.
I
Bad sign.
You have my attention.
That time
No.
I was reincarnated as my little sister's favorite vibrator.
Yeah, I remember that one. I do remember that.
Why do you know that?
Because I saw
Wow.
on Twitter that people going its peak when they were just trying to be sarcastic, and then some people complained about it.
Wow. That is just. That is so Japan.
I reincarnated as the little sister of a Death Games manga murder mastermind and failed. What do you mean
Huh?
failed? What is failed? It failed to what?
Failed in
Not fuck your
What
brother?
way?
What is what is
What?
failure?
Failed to knock off your sister? Come on now.
What? What does that mean?
Mm.
You failed the death game?
Wouldn't that mean you died?
I'm the messed up corpse my brother prepares to disguise his death. I'm killed by my brother before the death game began. I'm the little sister.
Huh?
Huh?
Yeah, I'm kind of lost.
What? I... Man, some of these people gotta get fucking laid. And not by children. I feel like I need.
God
I
damn,
feel like
Sneaky.
after our previous conversation, I
You
have to
had to
mention
say
that. I feel like I have to at this point.
You had to
Yeah.
specify. Okay.
Look, we have talked about 5 different popular creators of stuff who have been arrested for pedophilia. I feel like at this point in the conversation, I need to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but that is. It's kind of
He's n-
fair. You're not wrong, yeah.
I want everyone to know that it's okay to keep enjoying 12 forever. Just separate it from the creator. I don't know
Okay.
about that. I feel like, I feel like there's a difference, right? So like, say say someone creates a song or a show or something, but you disagree with them politically. Separation of the author and their work is totally fine, I feel, in that case. Like you support trans rights, but you hate Rowling, but you can keep enjoying Harry Potter. I feel that's perfectly acceptable, right? I feel like there is a limit to that, though. I feel like if You are talking about a child's TV show. And the person who created it was arrested for wanting to fuck children.
Mm.
Well, hang
Especially
on.
because they can use that to meet children through like fan
Well, it's not
meetups and
just
shit like
that.
It's funny.
It's
Hang-
they have probably filled such a show with content that is enabling of their
fetish.
a
fetish. Yeah.
Well, all right. Now, hang on. What about something like Rurouni Kenshin? Remember, that guy was also.
Right, but was it targeted at children?
Mm, I wouldn't necessarily say Kenshin was targeted at children. No.
Exactly. That's my point. We are specifically talking about a
I mean,
child
it-
show for children made by someone who wants to fuck children. I'm saying the show itself might be compromised by their fetish in that case. Because it would benefit them to compromise the show, either intentionally or unintentionally, to encourage children to participate in activities that might make them more likely to engage in things that they would enjoy. They, the creator, would enjoy.
Like, because outside of Rurouni Kenshin, the only other thing they made was Buso Renkin.
And now, just to be clear, I'm not saying they 100% did. It's totally possible they made a completely say-so, pure, untainted story for children. And were also a pedophile. But you might want to start buying lottery tickets if you believe that. That time I got reincarnated as a middle-aged salaryman. I think that's just called
Tanya.
waking up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Shit. Most of us in this thing are middle-aged salarymen.
Now,
I
I
mean-
have to know, Julia Vickerman,
No.
what do you look like?
I don't know that I want to know.
Will we once again profile you? Can we get a fucking picture on this person? Holy shit.
Hey, listen. Complete and utter lack of any pictures is a profile in itself, baby.
That's entirely, yeah, you know, that's,
No.
you know, oh,
Oh, I think I found him.
yeah,
And it's very blurry, but you can tell what this is. I found one on Google.
Come on, put up a
It
thing
is
and
so
tell.
blurry. It's so blurry, but you can still exactly tell. Oh,
Ah, yes,
I found a small one.
I see.
Uh,
That-
yeah,
Some things
yeah.
are explained.
yeah.
I found a small one through Google.
You know, I
that
really have to
is-
say that adage that Asmongold had of, you know, like poison frogs and like other poisonous species tend to like
This
coat themselves in
Yep.
really bright colors.
Yup.
this is an artwork from Julia Vickerman's profile. I just found.
Ah.
Bright enough?
A little bit, yeah.
Woo, Lord.
You can't imagine how they got yeah.
Yeah, that's on their
After a
portfolio.
while, you kind of get tired of being right, you know?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, I do
It's
know.
like- I wish.
God damn it.
I wish I
Andrew.
weren't right all the time.
God damn it, Andrew.
God damn it, Andrew.
Oh,
Fucking
what
okay.
in the? Oh my
amazing, but
God.
goddamn.
Oh, it took all of his brain cells to think that one up.
But it worked. It was
Mhm.
good.
Yep.
That's a good one. Oh shit. Oh. I haven't laughed like that in a while.
Oh, yeah, you know what? This person is definitely born probably between 2002 and 2004 because their grammar's fucking awful. The
Yes.
tall man, which is for some reason all capitalized, along with kids is for some reason also capitalized. But the tall man is a 6 foot, they use the incorrect notation. 2, they use the incorrect notation, feet tall. Yeah, that's right. 6 foot 2 feet tall.
Really?
Yes. They legitimately do not know what the notch means.
Oh no.
So they just put it in there because they see that's what you do when you dictate someone's height. And then they explained 6 foot 2 feet tall. As in literally wrote it out, feet tall.
Yeah.
They don't
They
know.
did
Oh my
6
god.
They did. Yeah, they did 6'2" -feet -tall.
Oh my god, they're an NP. They're like one of the fucking AI that just sees, oh, this is how you denote someone's height, so they just put the notches in. And they have no idea what the notches even mean.
Oh my god.
Well, it is literally the AI, because like the AI, when it was first making art, would keep scribbling in the lower right corner or the lower left corner. And
Yes.
they were trying to figure out what the AI was doing there, if it was like glitching out or something. And then they realized in a lot of artwork, that's where people put signatures of their art.
Yeah.
So the AI
Yeah,
was
was
reading
trying to
that, was
spell.
trained on that, and then was putting in its own signature, not understanding what that was, but knowing that's
Or
what you
maybe-
put there.
Maybe it did understand and the AI was signing its own work.
No, because it was gibberish every time and would change every time you redid it.
It wasn't consistent gibberish.
That's just the usual AI gibberish. Gotcha.
And which was what I'm saying though, it's funny because it's like it's that situation again here, is that the person's copying a notation down, not understanding what it means, but knowing that's what you're supposed to do. That is Common Core strikes again.
Yeah, that's about what you'd expect from wow most people these days.
Yeah.
So fucking sick of Common Core.
42-year-old male with blue eyes, black hair, white hair on sides, back, small pointy nose, rectangular shaped, sharp chin, Caucasian skin. For some reason, we're just gonna list out every little attribute of his. Tall, bulky build. Outfit consists of orange jumpsuit, black collar, black gloves, and black boots. His name is Jack Fenton, Maddie's loyal husband, Danny Dawn Jazz's dad. Actually,
By the
Dad,
way,
I
I
want to be
forgot
an
a-
astronaut.
Yeah, bingo. We got bad grammar, by the way. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead and mark that down, yep.
What did we
A
get?
15-year-old boy replied meekly as he rubbed his neck. Young teen, arbitrarily capitalized, is 5 foot 5 feet tall. And proceeds to just fucking verbal diarrhea. I want to be an inventor, minus the whole ghosts thing. She is 5'3", 5 feet tall. She is Dawn Fenton, Danny's twin sister. Sorry, Mr. Fenton, I was into ghosts, but they're mainstream now. They're like cell phones, said Goth Girl. Goth Girl is 5 feet 2 feet tall, with female with violet eyes. Fair skin is, for some reason, capitalized. Apparently, fair skin is a new skin type. Guys, we have to update the charts.
Yep.
If this first chapter is just character descriptions, does that count as a non-chapter?
No.
Damn.
It does count as first chapter doesn't get to the point,
True.
but
Very true.
But also,
But I
this
mean,
is
the
what, like,
whole point of the chapter is quite literally just introducing all the characters. Like, that is quite literally...
non-chapter would be like, this is a teaser, or it's just an.
Oh no, I'm saying the chapter does get to the point. The point is to introduce all the characters.
They've got a music opening theme.
No, I was just trying to. I don't know the word. I know the word. I don't know the word.
You don't know the word.
Anyways, I was explaining to Kaz what a non-chapter would normally be, because we've had a
It's
few
probably
teasers.
shit
We've had
like
a couple quote-unquote
just like character
spoilers.
sheets and shit like that, or even just an opening or something. Yeah, like this one has actual fucking theme opening that they've written, but it's still got a chapter.
You know, I don't think we've yet run into a chapter 1 that was just an anime style opening and nothing else.
Yeah.
Oh wow, it
Who
really
would
is
even
just
do
an
that?
anime style opening, and they modified it a little bit to include Dawn in the music video.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's not gonna completely fuck up the flow of the
Yeah,
song.
well,
Gonna cut them all because they're Danny and
well,
Dawn
see,
Phantom.
here's the other thing, right? Like Jack Fenton's delivery is really hard to get, like, in writing. Like,
yeah, with such a unique way of speaking, that's gonna be one of those characters that when you write the vernacular, there's gonna be weird random italics, capitalizations, and random periods and commas.
yeah, because like he's got a very interesting way of speaking. I always really liked it because he's like, this is the Fenton thermos. It's gonna trap ghosts. But considering I've never seen a ghost, it's kind of just a thermos with the word Fenton upon it. Ugh. And he tosses it.
Yeah.
But like in actual narrative, it's just kind of written all as the same thing, and it's like that kind of really loses the delivery.
Yeah, man. In retrospect, it really wasn't saying that 99% of the fucking stuff they pumped out as inventions actually worked.
Yeah, I think my favorite part. Yeah, I think my favorite part is all of their inventions, or nearly all of their inventions, worked as intended without ever having a ghost to actually test it on.
Yeah, and like the one or two things that didn't work were used as a gag.
Yeah.
Of Danny, like, I'll use this thing they just made. Oh shit, this thing doesn't actually work. That's not normal.
Yeah.
Isn't it like the mother mainly makes the shit that works, and if the father works on it himself, then it usually doesn't?
No, because his dad does actually make a bunch of stuff that really.
Yeah, they
really
work together. They do ideas and work.
Yeah,
they do
but
the
I
ideas
always
and the R&D together.
Yeah, but I just vaguely remember when he worked solo, a lot of his shit didn't work.
I think
yeah, no.
With a couple things.
That was no Jack's problem was that what was it?
He went. It feels like he went overboard a lot in trying to shove things in, and that made it not work.
No. His problem was all of his ideas failed, but they all worked, but they failed. And it was both Vlad and Maddie who were able to take his crazy ideas that they didn't think of.
Yeah.
And were able to turn it into something that was able to consistently work.
Yeah.
But like that was the problem with all of his stuff, is that it would like work in bursts and then catastrophically fail.
They basically polished out his stuff, which makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he basically was the mad scientist who like had the crazy, insane idea that no one else would have normally even thought of or considered. So, I mean, yeah, it worked out. It really didn't age well. Yeah, Fenton. Yeah, well, Yeah, Dawn gets a energy sword. Cool.
That is actually a thing that is done in the series. If I recall correctly. A ghost lightsaber.
That sounds stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was cool the way it was used, but I don't think it was used very much either.
Was it used in the movie with the Ghost King, Pariah the Ghost King or whatever? Or was that during an episode with the Headless Horseman? Or the Halloween Monster
Fuck if I remember.
movie?
What? Oh, that can't be right. Jack says, and Dawn's whole body turns invisible before turning visible as Fenton twins stared at each other warily, concernedly. Oh, they're still in the adverb phase of use.
Oh God.
Of course.
Having silent conversation through their twin telepathy. Author's note, this is
Twin
not a ghost.
telepathy.
Yes, that's what I said. Author's note, this is not a ghost power. I might just add this here. It's just something they can do because they're twins.
Wait.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Wait. Do I have random author's note?
I do.
That's a good question. Do we have random authors? Yes, I do!
Yeah, ready, Megan?
Oh, yeah, let's go. Do I have...
Bad grammar.
Mm-hmm. No.
Wasn't that already? Didn't we already find bad grammar?
Yeah, but Atten didn't hear it earlier, so I was saying it again.
Yeah. That's just. Oh my God, this whole thing.
Did they describe any of the eyes as orbs or gems?
No,
No.
but you
No.
can also mark down female author syndrome.
I don't have female author.
I do.
I have the barely
I thought-
concealed fetish, but
Sign
Yeah.
hasn't had an L yet, has he?
he has
Shine-
not.
He has not had a W yet either, so he needs to curb his enthusiasm.
Fine, you need to figure something out here, man. I don't want to have to wait a whole fucking week to send you the thing.
But
best
making
part about
you
this
wait
is
a week kills
only
your
two-
enthusiasm, which is
He
in fact a
did, yeah.
W for me.
OC times canon. The gray is right. OC times canon.
Yes.
Very true.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't have that though.
I
Oof.
do.
Got out of character. Got unlabeled crossovers. V2s. Non-chapters.
I need harem and okay buddy, and I can win the. I can get bingo.
I cannot. Buried in this drama, but Urban Dictionary remembers. Bat-shaped storyboard artist for Cartoon Network said on Twitter, "I cannot let anyone forget that I am aspiring ethical cannibal. In my lifetime, I will consensually eat human flesh."
What?
What?
Oh,
Where is this? What?
Those were words. I'm going
Yep.
to ignore them.
That was a
Ooh.
flashbang. Sadly, that was not a fan fiction flashbang.
Yeah, true. Very true.
Where did you read that from?
Urban Dictionary.
Urban Dictionary.
Oh,
That explains it.
yeah.
The Switch of a Wish. A lost girl looking for some place to belong finds herself making a wish that turns her life upside down. Or rather, switched. It seemed like it would be a perfect solution for Danny Phantom, except for one small problem. She's 16 now, and Danny is her 8-year-old kid brother. Alternative Universe Roleplay, written with Akbar Fan 5556 once again. Technically, the first story of 2025. I'll count that as first story.
I
First
once
story?
again get nothing.
Yes.
Same.
First
here.
fan-
Ooh.
I've got first fanfic. Is that it?
Yeah. They're
I need to
announcing
find
that
out-
it's a first fanfic, so yes, I accepted it.
I either need original fiction and unlabeled crossover, or I need orbs and a sign L.
You ain't getting orbs.
you ain't getting to
Yeah.
know.
We'll see,
that's-
sign.
You have no power over that.
Yes, I do.
I feel like I have a bit of chance of original
I
fiction.
mean, he
to
could
be
just
honest.
leave.
He
Exactly.
could.
That'd be a sign L for running away like a coward.
I could go get food. That's not running away. That's just going to get food.
That's an Elaine L.
Coward. That is an Elaine L. Yeah.
That is
Wait.
absolutely an
Who?
illegal.
On the SDM, there's someone who is famous for not eating.
even when
Oh.
his body is shaking for sustenance. I think there
So
was a
he's
time where
even
he
worse
went.
than Gray.
I think there was a
I
time
can
he
eat
went.
a meal a day.
Title.
He
Sorry,
eats a
I
meal
think there was
a
a
week.
time. Yeah, I think there was a time where he went 4 days with only a single meal and like.
Is bro
small
that
snacks.
okay? Bro must be terrified of twink death if that's what he's doing.
He's
Wow.
Swedish.
He's
so-
Swedish.
Oh,
Yeah.
so he is terrified of twink death. Got it.
Okay then. I mean, yeah, the human body can go 3 weeks without food as long as you've got water, but that's
It's not even that
So
he's
he's
not eating. He just
fasting.
forgets. No, he just forgets. to eat.
No. He literally just forgets.
I
Yeah.
think you know what? I think Sneaky's complained about this to me and
Yeah, I
and,
have.
it before.
He was part of D&D.
The Cartoon Network cannibal.
Jesus.
Those
Those are some words.
are words.
I'm
They
going
are
back to
indeed.
Then came the man.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, the whole purpose of this story is that Danny makes a wish, gets swapped with Danny, the main character, and she's now occupying the spot of being the teenager with all Danny's friends, and Danny is now the little brother instead.
Little brother, but not the
Okay.
clone little brother, right? He's just regular little brother.
Yeah, no, normal little brother, not a clone, yeah. More and more, blah, 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 free spirit, worship, and memories hit, all from Danny's perspective. Danny was keeping powers, clone sister, even with the rest of cousins, also hidden from the rest of the family, tough situation. Blah, 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 strong 10-year-old, decided what thing was way too much, more sleep, blah, blah, blah. This is why I don't do school. How you doing, cousin? Danny, I thought you were going off to places. Is Lad making trouble again? Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. They're interacting. I mean, the interactions aren't terrible, but it's pretty generic stuff. Burgers, okay. Ghost Child,
should I start a
Skulker
new
shows
FE4
up.
playthrough?
Skulker, Plasmius shows up as well. Desiree also shows up. Blah blah blah. Okay, you know they're doing a pretty decent job of mimicking the dialogue from the show. So I mean there is that. Interesting. Greatest hunter adapts to the situation. Period. End quote. Period. Yeah. Okay. So they're not quite caught up on how grammar works. Danny's eyes widened, comma, what the heck? That was cheating, exclamation point, end quote, comma. And Skulker smirked, comma. That's, that gets a special, slicing of the pie. And, I'm gonna hit Sam with that one. That's funny.
Oh no, you monster.
But it's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, it
okay.
definitely is.
That's better.
Drop that in shit Rex. And I got that and at some. Of course, obviously, if you wish to follow along, there is the link as well. Yeah, this person is now with both my hands. Period. End quote. Comma.
Those are words you said.
Yeah. Yeah. They, this is, another sterling example of a successful graduate of Common Core.
Of course.
Not surprised.
Let's see, how old are they? 2014? Alright, so they are the same. I am a 31-year-old. They tell us. Wow. You can call me the Traveler.
Oh! Oh, you're gonna travel some places with my foot up your ass.
You must be polite to me. I do not like anyone who insults me. You are not allowed to write negative things on any of my stories.
No bad calling my stories or any other writer's stories. In all caps.
Huh.
Smells like bitch in here.
Joined 2014, same year as the fucking last person.
Yeah, but this person's 31.
Ah, so we know their age?
Yeah, because they literally said it. Yeah,
Ah,
yeah,
Pain.
can't take criticism, huh?
yeah. Let me just log in here so I can leave them a review.
Story bad.
Take
Naturally.
shit out.
Story bad. You suck. Please sign into google.com. I am trying to sign into google.com, Google. That's why I'm on google.com trying to sign into google.com. Fucking
Have you considered
shit
signing
ass.
into Google.com?
Gonna
Yeah, but what about
fucking
Google.com?
Can I just put my password in? Thank you.
No.
I hate this new
dare you.
passkey shit because they fucking force it on me every single time, but then they won't
Oh my
accept.
god, the passkey shit.
Yeah, they won't accept my fucking phone as a passkey when I'm logging
Why?
into the computer. I don't know. But they won't accept it. It's fucking annoying.
Wait, when logging in,
Yeah. So it tries to force it to do the passkey shit first before it accepts the old methods of logging in, such as putting in your password or having, like, I don't know, anything else happen.
Mm.
But, like, the most frustrating thing is after I put my password in, it's like, okay, now that you've put your password in, please hit yes on your phone. It's like, why didn't you didn't let me use my phone to log in earlier,
Don't
but
ask
now
questions.
it's totally fine for me to use my phone to approve the login?
Yeah.
Yes.
yep, apparently.
Just, I fucking hate this passkey shit. It doesn't let me just default to what works. Have to go through this whole fucking
Is-
song and dance every time.
Is that a Microsoft thing or
A Google thing.
fuck?
Mm.
A Google thing, okay.
A Google thing. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Indeedly, sirry, sirry do. Alright. So let me go all the way down here. Alright, great. Time to type up a review. It's going to be a very concise review, a very specific review. We're not going to insult him beyond just pointing out the obvious.
Yeah.
You gonna get
The-
AI to generate it?
Nope. The most impressive thing about this story is that you are 31 years old and still don't have basic literacy.
Woo!
Mhm.
But that's an insult, Sneaky.
No. He's just saying.
No, it's a compliment. I called his story very impressive.
Yes.
Is that how that works?
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
he doesn't have basic literacy, so the answer is yes.
Yeah.
You're not expecting him to be able to read this review. Gotcha.
Yes,
Oh.
exactly. He can't get mad at my review if he can't understand the double-layered sarcasm.
Yep.
So anyway, they have a whole fight scene. Yeah, so basically, first chapter doesn't get to the point.
Yeah. I do have that, I believe.
I do have that.
I've got author knows nothing.
I need non-chapter and
Um,
V2.
No, wait, does the author note of no bashing and all that, would that count as don't like, don't read, or do we need the actual wording?
We need
You
the
need the
actual
actual
don't like, don't read.
Ah. Flashbang by words, but that wasn't a fan fiction. Original
All right, so let's take
fiction.
a look at this guy's. He's written 79 stories. Very impressive. Like, this is what I'm saying, right? Like, it's always these authors are like, yeah, I've written 80 stories, and it's like, wow, you've written 80 stories and you don't have basic grammar.
You've written 80
Ooh.
stories, but they're all dog shit.
Yeah, it's like the child who's like, I drew many pictures, and you look at the pictures, and half the pictures are drawn in their own shit. And it's like,
They're finger paintings.
Not even
Okay.
worse.
at this time, I am already doing requests and RP partnerships, so don't ask me to do more RP partnerships. I have a full plate right now.
Oh god, what the fuck?
Dear God.
Damn, that's
No.
sad.
Wow, you do actually really know that they are they're 31 years old because September 11th, 2022. Hello everyone, please give a moment of silence for the towers falling. Yeah, that's how you know they're 31 years old. I had a funny feeling, you know, when I watched the towers fall. Okay, buddy. That's the other way you know that someone is 30-something years old, is they try to instantly tell you about a story that happened when they saw the towers fall. That's the other way, you
Yeah, I
know.
was in class when they fell.
Everyone was in fucking class when they fell, sign.
Not if they were out that day.
They weren't out that day unless they were sick.
Or if they were an adult and working.
What the fuck? Notice. Giovanni Go has stemmed an interest in the movie Soul and claims that he has a really, really great idea for a story for it. And he's hoping that anyone who becomes a fan of Soul would help him roleplay out the story with an OC he has in mind to fix everything. So please PM him if you're a fan and you want to do a roleplay story.
No.
No. Wow. No. So yeah, they boldly declare they've written 1 million words in this one series. They've written another 1 million words in a second series they've written. Another 1 million words in a third series they've written. Another 1 million words in a fourth series they've written. The fifth, it's not a fifth, it's just a fifth story that was another 1 million words long. So they have now, thankfully, thoughtfully, considerately calculated their word count for us on how many words they've been wrong for. So that comes out to 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, 5 million, 6 million. So that comes out they, by their own estimates, have been incorrectly writing English for 6 million words.
Author knows nothing.
Author knows not a goddamn thing.
Bad grammar.
He don't know
Yeah.
shit.
We already have that.
Yeah. My favorite movies are every genre except horror. I don't think that's how that works. My favorite TV shows are cartoons, crime mystery, live action. That's all of them.
That's a lot of them.
My favorite TV shows are cartoons and live action. That is all of them.
Yeah.
Do you know how little that narrows it down, author?
Well, it narrows it down between cartoons and live action.
My favorite books are fiction books, history books, and fact books.
The fuck's a fact
That's
book?
all of them.
That's all of them.
Wow. That's almost all of them.
Unless they're talking about fun fact books that tell you different facts.
I really appreciate that they've separated history from facts.
Yeah.
Well, it could be historical fiction.
No, but there's also fiction there, so they're separating history from fiction as well.
Yeah. History is apparently neither fact nor fiction.
No, it's history.
Yeah.
I mean,
Comes to
you
human-
could make an argument that history is subjective since history is written by the winner, and all we've got is the subjective stories passed down to us by whoever chose to record things and was lucky enough for those recordings to make it into the present day.
True.
But
History came to us in a dream.
Damn it, he's an ear. Damn
That's
you and your
stupid.
shitty quality copper. Which actually might not have been that shitty quality because he definitely was selling copper for like a whole decade. So he
Wow.
clearly,
Yeah.
like,
Unless
no
he
one
made
was
sure that
able
no
to
one else
prove.
that it was shitty copper, but also no one able to prove that he killed everyone else who sold copper.
Well, he definitely didn't.
Yeah.
Survival is my favorite fiction genre for books.
Huh?
How do you write a... Huh?
Survival? Like what, the
Survival
fucking-
is a very hard genre if you don't have brains to care of yourself. But make interesting point if you can do it, then you can do anything.
Are they talking about choose your own adventure books with bad ends if you choose the wrong choice?
Oh my god.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't like that.
Survival!
And they what is that, survival?
oh my god,
I don't like
but,
this.
like this part makes no sense. If you don't have the brains to care of yourself, but it makes
Oh my
interesting point if you can do it, then you can do anything. What the
That-
fuck
that-
does that
of your
mean?
Guys, everyone, they're putting self-help books as survival.
Oh no.
Oh. I
It's
think
self-help. If you don't have the brains to care for yourself through self-help, then you can't do it. But it makes, if you can do it, you can do anything. It's self-help genre.
why does he
Self-care.
consider self-help fictional?
I mean,
Because
it
it's
is
funny.
fictional. Let's be clear.
I mean, technically speaking, yes. But, I mean, well, no, see, the problem with self-help books is they're all correct, but you shouldn't need to read a book to understand the stuff that it tells you.
Mhm.
Like, that's where the scam is. These self-help books, I would say, in majority, are the reason why people keep buying them is, in part, because they want an excuse to not fix themselves and find have someone else give them a solution, but also because they actually give advice that works. But typically the people that need that advice are too stupid, because if they were smart enough, they wouldn't need the self-help book to tell them that advice.
Mm.
Alternately,
Like-
they don't have the will to follow through on the advice.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though, right? It doesn't matter what your knowledge is if you don't follow through on it. Then what the fuck does it matter that you know it?
True.
Like I've seen self-help books that are like, eating in moderation is very important because it expands your chi senses and allows you to perceive reality as it should be. And it's like, right, so eating in moderation is
Bruh.
important because it saves you money and you don't get fat. Yeah, literally anyone could tell you that except for someone who's fat. Oh, favorite bands: AC/DC and Guns N' Roses. That's how you can tell they're 31 years old. Favorite song: Highway to Hell. Megamind does a
Megamind.
great dance
Fair.
to it. Oh my.
Mm,
Another favorite song: Two Worlds, One Family. I wouldn't know.
By Phil Collins.
You should read the Hatchet books by Gary Paulson. Opinions?
counterpoint. You should just go read the Discworld books by Terry Pratchett.
If you're
I don't know who Gary
gonna
Paulson is.
if you're gonna read that, just read the first one. Of the Hatchet books, it's the best.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
San Francisco 49ers, Green Bay Packers, and Milwaukee Brewers. What?
It's a good
What's that?
story of character developing and becoming mature because he just got thrown in the fucking shit fan.
My
Alternatively,
favorite mottos
Chip
are
pretty much
Hakuna
full of
Matata, Absolutely, Positively from Oliver and Company, and
Circle of
Circle of Life from Lion King. I respect the
Wait.
Circle of Life because it connects plankton to humans.
What?
Are you fucking retarded?
wait. Did
Yeah,
they
what?
say favorite songs or favorite mottos?
Mottos.
Motto.
You
Mottos.
said mottos.
It's the circle of life that Mufasa tells Simba.
That's not a motto.
That's
though.
yeah, it's not a motto.
No, it's
That-
more like
That's
it's
a
it's a
philosophical thought experiment
yeah.
That's a
focused
motto
on
with
how
you.
life is interconnected in the wild. Humans kind of fucked up the circle
Yes,
of life
thank
by
you,
a
Simon.
massive margin.
Well, we've removed ourselves from the Circle of Life. That's always why I refer to ourselves.
Well, no,
we have.
We also,
tried.
no, we also,
No,
we've
we
also
have.
fucked over. We've
Wait,
also
what,
fucked over
Phoenix?
the
Is that the one
existence
about?
of zoos, for example.
Well, I mean,
Wait.
yes, there's that as well, but I'm talking more about on a Earth-wide scale. Humanity has removed itself from the Circle of Life and pretty much wholesale. We don't have a predator. Everything's basically our prey. I mean, like, we're harvesting
We eat
fucking
everything that
plankton.
moves.
We eat everything. Doesn't
So,
matter if it moves or
Phoenix-
not.
Phoenix, aside from the farts too hard thing, yeah, that's the one about the teenage kid that has to survive in the woods after a plane crash.
And then on top of that, this is the part that I actually genuinely hate. Like, say what you will about everything else, but I think if anything should have movements based around it, it should be this. I fucking despise putting dead people into metal caskets filled to the brim with formaldehyde. That is the most disgusting thing you could ever do. Because now we have a fuck ton of metal in places that it doesn't really need to be. And on top of that, we have bodies of just gallons of formaldehyde seeping into our groundwater as everything rots and rusts.
Well,
And this is an actual problem. In areas where there are graveyards, there is a massive problem with formaldehyde tainting the groundwater.
I'm just trying to figure out where the metal comes into play, because most coffins are like 99% wood and lacquer.
Oh no,
no, they're the new ones that are aluminum and
yeah. There's a lot of aluminum shell coffins. Yeah.
Why would we get...
Because somebody wants to be buried in something that's not going to rot anytime.
Yeah, they despise the idea of rot and death so much.
No, then go with plastic.
Right.
And that's any better with plastic leaching?
Yes.
Right.
Arguably, yes, because
No.
that's not gonna spread. That's not gonna spread anywhere near as far as what rust is gonna do.
Yeah.
oh no, the graveyard has microplastics, whatever will we do? Versus, oh no, the graveyard has salted the earth 2
Yeah,
miles in
also
every
sign.
direction.
Oh no, the grave. There's some extra microplastics in the water. Like the amount of microplastics caused by a few coffins is
Until we get rid of the recycling plants, don't even talk about microplastics.
Mm.
True.
Is that you know, Hatchet's about the teenage boy taking a trip on a plane and gets a heart attack, crashes the plane, and the boy has to survive in the woods.
Yes, I already answered this.
Oh yeah, those
Yeah.
books.
I'm pretty
Oh yeah,
sure.
that's middle school
I'm
reading.
pretty sure Phoenix had an altered version because I do not remember the farting part. And as I said earlier, like you shouldn't be reading the Hatchet past middle school. In all honesty.
Yeah. Well, it's sort
Yeah.
of like Guardians of Ga'Hoole, right? Like, it was a good memory to look back on, but I absolutely wouldn't tell someone who was above the age of, like, 12 to read it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, maybe the first books I would say 12-year-olds. I would say, like, the middle part of the series is 14, and, like, the later part of the series is 16. Because, like, the later part of the series gets really fucking crazy with genocide and napalm and
I would say when
laser
they get to the
beams.
war crimes.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, the greater amount of war crimes. There's a significant amount of war crimes happening throughout the story that you don't really realize yet. But yeah. But anyway, so yeah, this author is again retarded. They're mistaking literal philosophical phrases for mottos.
Wow.
And then they
Nice.
have concocted
What did you
their
expect?
own quote. Every young life is very precious no matter what species.
Really? Is that what
Uh,
you think?
Yeah, that's what they think.
I think you're having a Mandela moment. What probably happened, if I had to guess, it was probably more that the pilot had the heart attack, died, and as the body does upon death,
Yeah.
excrement just occurs. Like,
Yeah.
that's not an uncommon part of reports of like, yeah, there was shit in the pants and piss and all that. The body starts going rigor mortis. It just has a panic moment of release everything.
Well, it's not just it's that when someone dies, a lot of the muscle, like there's like the muscles that are being kept closed by your brain, which you do not have conscious control of, which is why you don't piss
They
or shit
relax.
yourself at night. They release because the brain stops.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
that's
admit
the thing they don't tell you.
it's been a long time since I read the Hatchet, but I feel like I would have a memory of him farting and that being what caused him to have the heart attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have never heard of
Because-
someone farting so hard they have a heart attack, but it would be funny.
That's the kind of
Uh,
thing that gets a laugh out of an elementary schooler, followed by the sudden shock of, oh, this man just took the permanent sleep.
Yeah.
yeah.
The author
This
then
man just
proceeds
shit
to say
himself
that
to
they are
death.
into gay soul bond relationships and they don't mind harems as long as they are respectful.
As long as they're respectful.
Yes.
Fucking really.
Yeah, hey Phoenix, that doesn't mean he farted too hard. You can tell me to suck it all you want, but
No. Okay,
that's
so it's
not-
it's not that he farted too hard. He did fart.
no, he
but it-
did. He insisted he farted too hard.
Yeah, no,
So-
that's what I'm saying.
He can
I would
take
say
his
yeah,
fucking
okay, yeah.
and respect
Him
himself.
rubbing his shoulder is actually the moment
Yeah.
Absolutely.
where he has the heart attack.
Yeah.
The fart attack.
You know what? I will say that's a really nice detail from the author.
Yeah.
What's that? The shoulder?
Yeah, because like
Yeah, because that's a common issue. Like,
That's
It-
a common point that people mention, like their shoulders hurting.
I thought it was
Just-
your arm went tingly or numb.
I can do that too, but
changes
people
person.
when they're having a heart attack can have complained about, oh wow, my shoulder just hurt. Because again, it's like this whole thing where the body, like, you don't have pain nerves on your heart, because why would you need pain nerves on your heart? If your heart's stabbed, you're kind of dead, so you don't really need to know if it's in pain or not. So your
Dying
So you
body's
have
like,
sympathetic pain radiating somewhere else.
yeah, you basically, your body's like, we're getting signals from this area. What do they mean, brain? The brain's like, shoulder's in pain.
Or it feels like heartburn. I've heard that's another big one. It's just like, oh, I thought it was a bad case of heartburn. No, you were having a literal heart attack. Sorry, bud.
You may have given yourself brain damage. Have fun with that.
Oh, yeah, you know what actually might be going on? You know, he's rubbing his shoulder and his arm. He might have had a heart infraction.
Maybe.
And it was cutting off
Yeah.
blood to his brain, which is why his muscles were releasing.
He had an infarction.
Infarction. Yeah, sure, funny. Haha.
No, that's the name. It's an infarction.
Oh, I thought you were trying to fit the word
INFARCT.
fart into it.
No, INFARCTION.
Yeah, I thought you were about to try and sell me a scratch and sniff comic book.
No, I'm not into Harley Quinn and her sniffing other people's shit.
You sure?
No scatological books, no.
You sure? Because I got a book for you. I got a comic for you, buddy.
I'm certain.
Tell you what, give me your address. I'll send it to you. If you don't like it, you can just give it to someone you don't like.
Oh, yeah, you know what? It might have been
That's why you're
multiple
sending
clots.
it to
If
me.
he's having stomach pains, yeah, no, 100% that he might have actually had like a embolism.
Listen, there's a
Huh.
number of
That's
things
nice.
the guy could be having.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying that's just really cool bit of like author actually researched what a heart attack embolism is like.
Yeah.
Yeah, so gay soul bonds, blah blah blah.
There's no way any of that was public knowledge, or I would never have been assigned to read that book at my private Christian elementary school.
What, you mean the dying thing?
The fart
No,
thing.
the gay soul bond thing.
Oh, the
No,
gay
that
soul one
no,
thing.
no, that was on the character. That was the author.
Oh, okay. I needed to make
That's
sure.
the fanfic author.
I needed to make sure that was the fanfic author.
No, don't worry. You were
Okay,
just,
so,
War Crimes and Fire Emblem.
the author, I'm not gonna read this out loud, but the author proceeds to include one of those pro-life fanatical passages about anti-abortion stuff, where they wrote a poem, air quotes, about a zygote baby being fully aware and cognizant of what's happening and understanding English.
Not how that works.
Then there is
Very
the
much
friends
not how that works.
And it's a thing about friends. I like to change things. Stories I'm going to make for the best you will ever are going to be the best you will ever see. I doubt that. I actually doubt. And then
Let's see,
please,
all
God,
too familiar
what-
with stuff, stories, blah blah blah, Gamazon, Symbol of Hope, AU, RP partners with Akbar, another M story, 188 chapters, 600k words. Yeah, damn, that's good. I mean, that is crazy that this guy has been writing with someone else. Like, you know, it's one thing if he was up his own ass and was just like, you know, totally gone, right? You know, totally up his own ass and just writing 6 million words incorrectly.
No, he's got somebody else up his ass too.
Yeah, he's got someone else up his ass too, and they're telling him that he's doing it right. Yeah, I mean that is just crazy. Now I will say, credit to the author where it's due. This is his also actual account, so he's got all of his favorited stories here. Now, this does baffle me a bit. Because again, it's one of those cases where people maybe just like try and write and they don't read anything. They just want to write, so they write and they write wrong because they never really read stuff, right? I didn't do that on purpose.
Read it wrong, right? Okay.
Like
Read it
I
right
said,
wrong?
I didn't do it on purpose.
Bullshit.
But it's really baffling to me that this man has probably read 5 to 30 times the amount of words that he has written, and he is still writing incorrectly. Like, he has seen objective examples of how you write and has just fully ignored it. Like, that is insane.
Yeah.
Of course. That's how that works.
I have clear answers in front of me of how I write. I am going to ignore that, invent my own rules. What the fuck is this story? Harry Potter. Lily's Bloom.
What if Sirius? What the
K
fuck is
plus a K plus story. I want everyone to keep that in mind here. This is a story for everyone. Now you might be asking, what is a story for everyone with the title A Lily's Bloom about? Well, I'm so glad you asked, as I will tell you. What if Sirius raised Harry? What if Lupin was the prisoner of Azkaban? What if Harry, at age 8, decided he was trans and wanted to be a she?
The fuck?
A Lily's Bloom is a story where Harry goes through a life-changing decision.
Is what I would fucking do.
Well, Sirius, not Snape.
Yeah, Sirius.
Yeah.
And
I
Lupin
thought it was
is in
saying they were being
Azkaban.
raised by Snape, and I was like, oh.
No. A Lily's
No.
Bloom is a story of Harry Potter as he goes through a life-changing decision which rewrites the entire Harry Potter series as he's now trans. A brave
How does it
journey
change
of...
anything?
Oh, well, that's a good question. A brave journey of self-discovery, even though the dark shadows remain the same. Co-authored story. Yeah, it's got 178 chapters with 500,000 words.
You put that much effort into this slop.
Yeah, they did. I'm curious.
Yes.
Few things, Sirius Black, blah, 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 destroyed house, stumbles into it, blah, 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 sorrow, grief, Fidelis charm. Remus was the secret keeper. Remus, Lupin. Padfoot channeled in betrayal. No one expected him to betray them all. He heard a cry. Harry was crying. Blah, blah, blah. Hagrid, how'd you find out? Dumbledore told me. How did he find out? He got a message from Lily begging for help. They're dead.
You know, it's crazy that
Not
Sirius would have just had to
happening.
go on. Remus is a werewolf, and everyone would have been on his side.
True. Not happening. Harry is my godson. I don't trust anyone. Dumbledore gave me orders, Sirius. I need to take Harry to him. What? Sirius knew why Hagrid was hesitating. Hagrid didn't like fighting, and he didn't want to fight Cyrus for Harry. This has just escalated from fucking, just getting a baby out of a disaster zone to kidnapping.
Yeah.
Yes. Because he has to go to the Dursleys.
I'm not letting anyone take Harry. I have houses other than Grimald. I'll raise him there. You can come with me. We'll send messages to Albus. Take my bike, will you? If you will take it to the manor.
Mana.
Grimwald Manor.
Professor Dumbledore, McGonagall, good evening, good morning, we got your message, drink, blah blah blah, tight throat. I won't let anyone else raise Harry. No offense taken, I understand your feelings, especially after Remus. Out of everyone who thought Remus would betray us. Voldemort's defeated, I saw the body, killing curse, blah blah blah. How would putting Harry with the Muggles help? Petunia hated Lily. Ancient magic, blood magic, blah blah blah. Protection, do the magic here. We were cousins, blood cousins. You want to have a normal childhood, then let me raise him. I think this is the worst part of this whole thing. Sirius is sitting here saying, you want Harry to have a normal childhood, I'll raise him. The author is telling us in the summary that Sirius raising Harry directly results in him believing he's a girl for some reason. And that putting him with the Dursleys makes him a hero that saves the world. Or at least Britain.
Oh,
So that's...
author.
that's a...
Unintended consequences there, bud.
That's a wild juxtaposition on the author's end. Is that putting him with the Dursleys is a good thing? That's insane. Oh, God. Really playing into stereotypes? Yeah. Give him a true childhood, blah, blah, blah. You sure this won't be easy? Blah, blah, blah. Magic, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we do get to the part. So I would also call this chapter a not getting to the point. The summary is saying that Harry is trans. All we covered so far in the first chapter is that Harry is going to go with Sirius.
Well, maybe they'll build up to it.
Yeah, but this
Put
is
some
like the
actual
fourth.
plot
This is
and
like the
thought into
fourth
it.
time we've had author first chapter doesn't get to the point, so we should have it by now for everyone. So
Huh?
this is like the fourth time now we've said first chapter doesn't get to the point. So
That's what I'm saying, but I'm just saying everyone mark it off if you haven't already. Uncles, blah, blah, blah. Can we play the games? Blah, blah, blah. Balls hit the mark. Well done, Harry. What are you going to do next? Shooting one. Blah, blah, blah. Good and careful. Sirius uses magic, but disguised as games. Blah, blah, blah. Circus show. Blah, blah, blah. Harry's enjoying himself. Okay. You're a lot better of a... Wait, so Sirius and Minerva are raising Harry together.
Minerva McGonagall.
Hmm?
Apparently.
Yep, McGonagall.
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 Octagonagall.
Octagonagall, brah!
Diagonal.
Oh, God. Harry, wait, what the okay, wait, hold on, here we go, we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere, yeah, so chapter 2. Cyrus was busy the next day, Harry was left to his own devices, he decided to sort through the things that Cyrus had won for him at the circus. He pulled everything out of the surprisingly large bag and put everything in the proper place. Then he held up a pink summer dress. The dress was covered in white dots. How did it get in the bag? He felt the material just as he was about to throw it out. It was really nice and soft and smelled really good. And then so Harry went to the mirror. Oh my God, are they actually doing this?
They're doing
Yeah, they are.
this.
They're doing it.
The clothing felt really good, so Harry is trans.
Yep.
What
That's,
the actual fuck?
that is wild.
Yup.
Look at the first thing they have Harry say, "I'm Harry Potter and I'm a girl."
No, you're fucking not, dumbass.
Literally, all he did was hold a dress up to himself in the mirror, and he's like, "Ah, yes, I, as a 4-year-old, have now realized I'm a girl."
I've made the decision all on my own.
Because
just by
this
touching the
clothing,
dress.
yeah, this dress was so comfortable to touch. I realized now I'm a girl.
Mm-hmm.
That's
No, bro, that's called cashmere.
yeah, right.
Maybe still.
That shit is.
Oh my god, I can't believe they're actually going with the stereotype. That is insane.
Mm-hmm.
Not there's like no build up to it either. It's just immediate. Oh, he touched the dress, and by touching the dress, you know, a divine revelation came down upon him to impart the knowledge that he is trans.
You know what the worst bit is? There is actually no reason for that dress to be in that bag because there's no daughters except for Bellatrix and all the sisters that lived somewhere else.
Well, it's not only that. It's not even stuff that would be in like that bag specifically was stuff that Cyrus won at the circus they went to.
Oh.
They went to a circus fair. So like you don't. I've never seen a single summer fair offer clothing.
Other than maybe a hat or something.
Yeah, I mean, I would say maybe a hat.
Maybe
like
a
I've never
jacket
seen.
or a jersey.
But it's not like it's not bought souvenirs from the fair. It was specifically one objects won at the fair. Like at what point in time? Now, here's the other thing, right? If the dress was cursed, right? If he had used that bag previously to take shit from the old house and move it to the new house, and that dress was like cursed for adults to not see it or something. And, like, it was supposed to, like, force Bellatrix to wear dresses or some shit.
I was gonna say
well, yes, I know what you're gonna say, but I'm going with the angle that it was not an egg cracking plot.
No, I was gonna say the dress is cursed to make people.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. It was cursed, but like it had like Bellatrix in mind or something when doing it. Like the whole idea was that like yeah, she was rowdy or something, so they cursed the dress to make her wear it. I could see that angle.
Sneaky, easy solution to this. Here's all you have to do.
Yeah.
You make it the oh damn, what was that thing?
I have no idea.
The cursed magic item in in 3.5 in Pathfinder.
The girdle of sex change.
Yeah, the one that just went.
Ah, there you go.
Bam.
You are the opposite of what you were.
See us.
Yeah, see you, man.
Later.
See.
The anti-tomboy dress. Yeah.
No! Leave our tomboys alone. Keep your hands off of them.
No.
True.
Tomboys are the single most targeted demographic.
Well, I mean, it's pretty wild because the whole tomboy thing started up in like, was it the 1930s or something?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, because
it's 9 o'clock. I'm going to bed.
All right, see, man.
I woke up at 3 o'clock this morning.
Ah, so did I.
Ugh.
I've been getting by on stimulants.
Yes, as one does.
Yeah, I mean, well, it was a long time ago. It was back when black and white shit was going on. Okay, I don't mean the races. I mean the pictures.
It was explicitly done to encourage them to be tomboys, to be farm girls for healthy reasons, to have healthy children, and to be more appealing as opposed to the fat little girls that they were turning out at the time, who men didn't want. And
that's why
successful.
Yes, and that's why also there was some other stuff in there about the whole master race and stuff like that. But we're gonna skip over that part, just like with Planned Parenthood. We're gonna skip over that part.
God damn, Sneaky.
I mean, hey, you know,
He's not wrong.
I'm
I
not
know he's
wrong.
Not wrong.
He isn't. But jeez.
But yeah, so we're just gonna skip over that part. But no, it's an actual really interesting thing, right? Because the whole movement was to get people more physically fit through actual exercise and not
Yep.
looking for a pill solution, not looking for a legislative solution that would
But they'd
fix.
start them young.
Yes. Yeah. But no, I'm specifically talking about what followed after, what basically destroyed the tomboy movement, in terms
Yeah.
of building it snowballing, which was the sugar companies, Big Sugar, actually Big Sugar in this case is behind this, is when Big Sugar effectively paid out millions of dollars in advertisements to propagandize women into thinking that eating fat and using fat for oil was unhealthy, despite, centuries proving them wrong, but, women in propaganda.
Mm.
And so they made them replace fat with, like, sugar and margarine and other chemical ingredients. And then Big Sugar got ousted by Big Anti-Sugar, which was actually just bigger sugar in a trench coat. And
Bigger
Anti-Sugar.
trench coat.
Yeah, Big Sugar and Big Pharma got together to create sugar alcohols and other chemical substitutes for sugar. And so Big Sugar got replaced with chemical substitutes, which then caused people to get worse in health. Because it did turn out sugar was not the best for you to consume, especially not the chemicalized sugar that was being produced. Like sugarcane sugar, actually not terrible for you. Like, it's not good. I'm not gonna say it's good for you, but as far as
It's not terrible.
actual straight sugars, it's possibly the best sugar you can consume. That is a straight sugar. I don't really consider honey an actual. It's a sugar, but it's not in the sugar category of
It's
like.
natural.
Well, no,
So the sweeteners is what they are.
Yeah,
Yes,
well,
it's a sweetener.
yes, but what I'm saying is that the chemical combination of honey is different from the chemical combination of sugar.
Yes.
So the body actually processes honey differently, which is why people who have diabetes and insulin issues in general can eat honey at a way safer rate than sugar because the body has a different process for it.
So honey's already partly broken down. That's why.
That too as well. It's not like sugar's easy, hard to break down though.
No, the problem is it breaks down into some unhealthy stuff. Things that'll make
But
you fat.
well, no, the problem is that sugars get immediately used, but they also get
Yeah.
immediately stored because sugar in nature isn't very prevalent, all things considered. It's prevalent in berries, it's prevalent in a few fruits, but if you're not farming those fruits, then berry bushes come in small bundles here and there, not fields of them. And
I do
so,
recall. Sorry, go ahead.
so our bodies process sugar in a priority stack of step 1, energy, step 2, store it in sugar packets across the body, step 3, turn it into fat.
Yes. That's like if you see people who come from like Europe or something and visit America, they always say they put on 5-10 pounds in just a short visit just because of the difference in food, where they've got
Oh yeah.
good stuff over there and they've got processed slop here, and
Well,
the
like I
slop
said,
makes them
that's more
super
of the
fat.
chemical fillers. Yeah, that's the chemical fillers coming in. Because previously we had some of the best food under was it Teddy Roosevelt? Yeah, I think it was. We had some of the
Yeah,
best water and
previously.
food and shit. Healthy America, all that fun stuff. But then the chemical fillers came, and that definitely ruined the body's ability to process that shit because the chemical fillers were more about taste and addiction than they were
Yes.
about being processed by your body. Also,
Which, hey.
massive abuse of the safe substance system. Holy shit.
Right. Which again, hey, with any luck, old RFK will get rid of that. They've already convinced, what was it? Which state was it? Dropped those artificial dyes entirely.
I forget. I don't know. Virginia, I
But
think.
would something like that. But with that one doing it, it's a case of the others looking at it going, we don't want to have to specifically only make stuff for this one place where it's illegal, so we'll just have to switch over all of our production to using this. Is probably what's gonna happen
No,
soon.
because they already do that for Canada. Canada, it's also illegal. So they already have a production line for.
I thought Canada had their own production up there.
Nope. Kellogg has a Canadian production for Canada.
So they just ship the Canadian product to a different place in America.
They probably do.
And
Well,
the rest of the states get
until the
slapped.
taraffs hit.
Yeah, until the tariffs hit.
Well,
like I say, maybe we'll get lucky.
Yeah. You never know. But no, I certainly do hope. But yeah, back on topic of the author being a
Dumbass. Shitty.
Hey, just
retard.
Bigger transphobe than we could ever be. Yeah, I think that fits. Because I mean, it's like
pro.
Well, yeah, I mean, kind of. It's like kind of crazy that like, especially with the Harry Potter universe, there's so many ways you could go about introducing Harry as trans, and they decided to use the most Reddit tier stereotypical fake trans method possible. Because that's what it is. I mean, oh, my kid touched a dress and had a divine revelation that he was a girl. That is Karen 101. I'm looking to be special and I'm gonna have to do it through my child.
I hate that shit so much.
Like there is so many ways they could have gone about it. They could have gone about it with a magical way. They could have gone about it with a metamorph way. You know,
Yeah,
Harry
they
could
don't
have
do that though.
I know, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's always what I'm saying. Like Harry could have felt uncomfortable as a kid growing up in this household the whole time, and he never knew what it was. And then one day he just felt really uncomfortable, or he just woke up as a girl because transforming into shit is actually a thing that happens. So it's like, why couldn't that have happened?
That's why.
Because then he would actually be a girl, I guess.
Right? Yes, that is what I was going for.
Like I said, like this person's a bigger transphobe than we are.
It's not about being a girl, it's about being accepted
as a girl, yeah.
I'm gonna shut up.
Yeah, no, exactly, yeah. And so then Harry Potter starts to feel the dress up a bunch and starts chanting that he is Harry Potter and he's a girl.
Oh, that's Otto Gano.
Yeah. And then suddenly his hair began growing, and his hair grew long and brown. And he loved his long brown hair. And he loved the feel of the dress. And he spun around until he was sick. Message, do you want to come with us? Scotland tomorrow? Yes, please. Get ready, go downstairs. Harry's dream. So no one really, so his wild imagination. Okay, so his hair went back to normal. So either he was a metamorph or he had a massive delusion moment. Now, see, this is the other curious.
Metamorph.
Yeah, but see, here's the curious aspect, right? With metamorphs, you actually have to train yourself to not be yourself. Canonically, as far as I'm aware, when it comes to Harry Potter and metamorphs, metamorphs do have a default body, as it were.
Well, yeah, that's what they were born as. Yes.
Right, but it's also based on their sense of self.
Yes, it's their mental image of themselves.
Because I do believe at some point they do have Tonks, like her hair like whenever she's scared, she shocks out of whatever morph she's doing, and her hair goes back to changing color, and like she does have like a default face, and like her hair is always colorful because she's made that part of her sense of self, so that's what she defaults back to instead of like brown hair or something. Now,
Yeah.
it's been literally a decade since I've read Harry Potter, so maybe that was just a fanfic I read, but yeah, as far as I'm aware, correct me if I am wrong.
I think
But
that might just be a fanfic.
possibly. We can actually, thanks to J.K. Rowling here, we can actually search this up on Pottermore probably. Thanks to J.K. Rowling actually making a wiki that it is not,
Trash.
well, leaving it to random people to do it.
Fair.
Now, this is not the J.K. Rowling, unfortunately, so it looks like Pottermore doesn't have Metamorph. Let's see what we can do here.
It
So
would
it
be
looks like they...
Metamorphomagus.
Yeah, they do look to be, citing everything as we go, so... blah, blah. Born not made, using wands and potions to change their appearance, blah blah. Predetermined by their inner traits, contrast, metamorph can take on wide looks, blah blah blah. Anyone can learn to become an animagus. Damn, that's crazy.
Yes, that's for anime guy, not for metamorph.
No, that's what I'm saying. I've seen a lot of fanfics be like only certain people can become them. It is unknown if they have to register, probably. Blah blah blah. God, that is weird. The Harry Potter, like I only saw up to like the 4th Harry Potter movie. So these later Harry Potter movies where like Tonks shows up and shit, and they have like the battle inside the prophecy hall, like
Yeah.
completely divergent from my mental image from when I read the
That's
book.
fair.
Like they do this like whole fucking teleporting thing in the movies. Like, the bad guys have their darkness teleportation, and the good guys have their good guy light teleportation, and like they're teleporting around all the time in these fights, and that's not what happens in the books.
Yeah, that is not in the books.
Also, they have like moments of like them swooshing in with their weird light side teleport, and they were able to grab Harry during the teleport and transport him somewhere else, and it's like,
Which is
what?
wrong. That is not something you can do. Or the whole the smoke thing, the smoke teleport thing, which is smoke flying.
Yeah, the smoke flying. Yeah, totally bullshit. Yeah. Metamorph Magus, emotional states, appearance, reflecting how they feel at the time, strong emotions, metamorph, okay, blah, 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 and then training, rarity, abilities, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah, so that was complete fucking bullshit. That was definitely from some really good fanfic. Apparently, as far as we know, canonically, they do not have a default form, and their Metamorph Magus abilities react to extreme emotion. Yeah, okay. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Shockingly well-informed for a fandom post, I will say. Shockingly well. Not a single
Fair.
quote from a single fanfiction, which is really impressive in the fandom wiki days.
Right.
Alright, so yeah, anyway, Harry Potter turns back to Harry Potter. He stops having long red hair. Harry's
it was
dreams. Yeah, well, you know, author decided to change it, you know, again. Because Harry's dream was unusual. He pictured himself as a girl again with a different name and different clothes and different styles, putting on makeup and stuff. And then so he woke up and pulled out the pink dress. And so he changed into the dress again. And he looked in the mirror. His hair became long and red. My name is Lily Potter, and I'm a girl. And his voice sounded even feminine now. Would he still love Harry? Of course he would. Okay, boys are boys, they're not girls, blah blah blah. My name is Lily. Lily exclaimed happily, trying to wipe away tears. Blah blah. She wishing this moment will last forever before everything turned to black. Okay, wait, are they Are they going with the angle of Lily's sacrifice lodged a piece of Lily's soul into Harry and that's affecting his psyche?
Maybe. I
Hmm.
mean, okay, I could see you going, hey, look, Lily's sacrifice kind of made her body imprint on Harry.
Well, no, because specifically, this is canon I do know of. Specifically, Lily's sacrifice was used to fuel a spell that would protect Harry from Voldemort. And this was a spell that was
Yes.
imprinted in Harry's blood. Which means, as far as we can tell, part of Lily's soul went into Harry's blood. Because he did use Avada Kedavra to kill her, which is the soul-cutting curse, or the soul-killing curse, or whatever. Which, if he killed her soul, and the spell is powered by her soul, then you would think that the spell would stop working if there's no soul to power it anymore, unless there was a piece of soul somewhere that was still powering it.
You would think.
So, I mean, you could extend that to somehow a chunk of Lily's soul is in Harry somehow, and that's why he's saying he's Lily now. It's like, okay, I guess. Anyway, he had a dream, scrambled out of bed, he was back to his normal self, he was Harry Potter. Man, that was a weird dream. Okay, so the next chapter is called Revelations, so the truth revealed. Okay, 11th birthday. Okay, I think this is the magic reveal, though. Yeah, so blah, 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 different from kids, you're a wizard, haha, you had me there. I can't do magic, I would have totally noticed. What we've
Wait,
done to
but
stop
wasn't
you.
he living with Sirius?
Yes, but they've specifically done a non-magical raising, so Harry
Why?
wouldn't.
Sorry.
I think it was the idea. So like in the first chapter, they had this whole idea that he should like live like a Muggle, so he doesn't get biases about the magical world or something.
That's fucking dumb.
Yes, but I mean that's what they came up with. So, well, you needed to have a normal childhood because in the wizarding world you're famous. Well, okay, I guess the idea there is framing it like that. So it's like, okay, we can't raise him as a wizard because if we raise him as a wizard, he'll want to go do wizard stuff. And we don't want to explain to him when he's really young and still forming that he's like this famous celebrity that everyone loves, because that might damage his ego when he's, you know, growing up.
He'll
So I
be a
can sort
big
of see
kid.
that. But also at the same time, it's like we can't raise him on Quidditch if we can't go bring him to Quidditch. Like letting a kid only ever hear of the sport they're being raised on through the radio and they're never allowed to go watch the sport, because if they had to watch the sport, that means they would have to show up at the sport, and showing up at the sport would mean exposing Harry to all of the people trying to kill him.
And magic.
Yeah, so instead they raise him without magic so he can grow up on a football and
Football.
football. And so he can grow up on that instead, and they can take him out to, like, soccer games and shit like that instead of Quidditch, so he can at least, get social interaction with his peers and grow up socially nicely without having the issue of people trying to kill him whenever he leaves his house. So I sort of see the angle there. And it's actually not a bad argument. Because it's not like this is the Middle Ages, where it's, oh, use magic or shit in the fucking hole in the ground. They have working toilets, they have power, they have refrigeration, they have cars. So it's not like it's a great imposition upon them to not use magic, because a lot of normal technology has solved a lot of the issues of living.
True.
Wouldn't I have noticed me having magic, he says, having already dreamed of his hair becoming a girl's? And blah, blah, blah. Questions. He had a dream. He was a wizard. Why didn't you tell me before? Where to go to Hogwarts, Gryffindor, live with you. Honors, blah, blah, blah. Cauldron, blah, blah, blah. Money, blah, blah, blah. I had to inspect that. Uncle Money, Minerva. Silly with money, a little embarrassing me, blah, blah, blah. How are we getting London? Teleportation, blah, blah, blah. Okay, Muggle classes, Muggle born, racists. People are racist? Harry could not hide his disgust. He's fucking 11.
Oh no, people are racist.
Bro probably doesn't even understand what that really means. Blah, blah, blah. Hagrid, blah, baby, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's just general dialogue. It's not going fucking anywhere. Nothing fucking interesting. They're not going anywhere with the main plot, as I guess you could call it. Okay, so the grand reveal was apparently just, you're a wizard, Harry. This entire chapter was literally just, you're a wizard, Harry.
You're a wizard, Harry. You're a Harry wizard. Maybe
okay,
shave
so
Harry.
I really don't like this phrasing, Lily blooms. I really don't like this phrasing.
It's almost like crack the egg.
Yeah, it's basically a crack the egg equivalent.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Harry is talking, okay, blah, blah, blah. I was looking, someone, blah, blah, blah. Okay, pointed look. She knew he was trans. Okay.
How would you even know what that is if you had been raised by Sirius?
But, like, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing, right? Like, I could understand jewelry sellers to actually know this, right? Because, like, this is a play.
Sneaky cut off for anyone?
Yep.
Okay, so it wasn't just me. I was worried for a moment.
Quick, everyone, if we leave now, it's over. The stream is over if we leave now. We're free.
Yeah, I mean, the real question is, did this
I'm aware audio
jewelry-
died. You know, my headset apparently died. They lied about the 32-hour battery life on this headset.
Wow.
Shocker. Yeah.
No.
Battery
Yeah. Yeah.
Companies lying about their hardware? Say it isn't so.
Yeah, it's insane, right?
Right?
Crazy,
Nobody would
crazy.
ever do that.
Does it use AI to increase the hertz frequency for you?
I mean, sonar,
Use
so maybe.
AI to increase the hertz frequency. Wow. That's
It's
just
still serious, though. You never know with them.
Don't sit there and say that's not something that wouldn't come out of some tech bro's mouth on stage.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
it
to say,
absolutely
yeah.
would.
It totally would.
That's the problem.
But anyway, so as I was saying,
That is the problem.
I can totally see jewelry sellers like actually like being really good at picking people out, right? Because it's actually a genius idea on some teenagers' part. Like they get some of their girlfriend's hair, they get a polyjuice potion, they turn into their girlfriend and go to try and buy the jewelry, and then they like
For their girlfriend.
for the girlfriend, so they act like, well, obviously they don't really need to act all that much, but you know they're acting clueless when they're in there, and then they get the help to find the perfect jewelry for themselves, buy it, and then give it to the girlfriend. But
Yeah,
I feel
that
like
seems like a magical world thing.
yeah, I mean, like that's like a totally believable thing I can see absolutely happening. And in response to that, I can totally see jewelry sellers 100% over time, like veteran jewelry sellers, just being like, "Yep, that's a guy. That's a guy under a polyjuice."
Yeah, but that's not a case of okay, that person's trans.
Right?
This
Yeah.
was the 90s. That did not exist then.
I mean,
Well,
very,
it did.
very,
It just
very, very,
wasn't
very, very fringe.
It wasn't very well known.
Yeah, okay, let me rephrase. It was fringe, like Sneaky said,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Also, in this scenario,
mm,
there's at least a handful where the one's been like, "You're not Jenny. Get the fuck out before I call the police. She's a regular here. We see her every 2 weeks."
yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
That happens to be paycheck day, in case you were wondering.
Yeah. No, I mean, I can also see like the sort of flip side of. I mean, I don't think girls would really like try and disguise themselves as a guy to buy jewelry for themselves. I
Not
don't
buy
think that
jewelry
would
for
happen.
themselves, no.
Yeah,
But
no.
they would absolutely disguise themselves as guys for other woman moment reasons.
Not possibly, yeah.
Possibly.
You know. Well,
Same reason a guy would disguise himself as a girl, okay?
yes, but no, because from what I remember, it was actually kind of frustrating and hard to brew the potion in the first place, and it was kind of expensive as well.
I was about to say, couldn't you just buy it? But I guess it was expensive, yeah.
No, from me, what I remember is like it didn't hold long, but maybe like you can like stasis charm it or something.
Well,
You know, there
no,
might be something out
there's
there.
a specific way in universe of making a potion that lasts basically forever as long as it's stored. Like
I believe
I
it.
forget what it is, but there is something.
Yeah, I'm sure there is. You know, I believe it. If you told me that was true. But yeah, so I mean, it's okay. Yeah, so but I'm not too broken up about the jewelry seller knowing. Kind of like okay, eye rolly that it's like, oh, she knows I'm trans, but you know. Holidays, Egypt, France. Okay, so basically the monster, scabbard, monster, blah, blah, blah. Equipment, Dementors. Okay, so pretty much year one apparently went as per normal.
The same.
Yeah, and year two apparently as well. That's crazy. We're at chapter 12 and we're already at year 2, at year 3. Bro is just flying through the years. You know, key
Not really
development stages.
surprised.
Well, yeah, I know. But, you know, key development stages of a child's childhood. We're just gonna skip all those, believe me. He's a she. Let's see, a
There's a reason
couple of
for
weeks
that.
pass. Mirror. Growing hair, made his way, blah blah, getting ready. What do you want to do today? Major happening, study schedule, blah blah blah. Fun game, practical joke, nothing. What, how, what? Guys, what's wrong? Harry, it's impossible. What? Harry, boys can't go up the stairs. Ron and I were playing a joke on you. There's an enchantment on the stairs.
Oh, and let me guess, Harry can go up the stairs,
Harry can go
right?
up the girls' stairs, yeah. Now, I
That's
mean,
not
see,
how that
that's
works.
no, see, here's the thing, right? Like, we actually don't know how the enchantment works for the stairs. We're just told it does. So, for all we know, it's completely based off of some sort of like magical signature thing. And Metamorph Maguses might have like a third-party signature that the stairs just auto-allow, because if a person can change themselves into like literally anything with that power, then like if a girl Metamorph Magus transformed into a guy, would it deny her?
It should. The way I look at it would be the same way I would look at code. What is the laziest, stupidest way that this could have been done to do it fast and, not really giving a shit about any kind of consequences? So that would have been which is more likely? Magical signature, psyche, which is, what do you see yourself as? Or just going, okay, let's look at their blood and go, is it a boy or a girl? Their biological
Yeah.
internal features.
Well, I
i.e.
mean, you also have to keep in
genetics.
mind it's supposed to prevent people from going up, like in all
Under
cases, and
polyjuice.
and yeah, and it's not like polyjuice was unknown when it was created. So, like, you would
Yeah,
think it would prevent polyjuiced people from going up as well. And if it prevents polyjuiced people from going up as well, that would
then it
mean,
has to be able to see through polyjuice.
yeah, which would mean some level of either magical signature or the stairs read your
Or
mind every
psyche.
time you walk on them. Which I don't
Yeah.
think they read your mind every time you walk on them, simply because the hat makes a big deal. Like, everyone makes a big deal about the hat being able to like read your mind.
Yes. But if it were magical signature, how does it differentiate between boys and girls? I think it works
Well,
off the same system that, well, it would need to work off the same system that the letters work off of, to determine, names, where the
right,
addresses go
yeah.
to, shit
Well, I
like
mean,
that. The map, right? The
yeah,
map
yeah,
can
yeah,
tell
yeah. I mean, the
who's who.
Hogwarts wards. I mean, yeah, clearly the Hogwarts wards have like some sort of signature system. So even if
Yeah,
you like,
they have something.
yeah, there's clearly something for it to track to differentiate you from everyone else.
Like,
So
Polyjuice does not fool those wards.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, it's definitely not a psyche thing. Because if it was a psyche thing, then Pettigrew probably would not. I mean, unless he was
Yeah.
like, no, yeah, because he
No,
wouldn't think of
Pettigrew
himself.
didn't show up on the map until.
Pettigrew showed up on the map as Pettigrew, not as Scabbers.
No, I don't think he showed up on the map as all specifically because he excluded
no,
himself.
he showed up on the map. That's a fanfic. He showed up on the map in Ron's bed, and that's how they figured out that something was up with that, because they were like, why is this guy named Pettigrew in the bed with Ron?
Yeah, that's fair. Let me think. I
Some
do
of those
remember
random
also.
choices.
Yeah, some of those were choices, yes.
Right. No, I do remember it also. There was a big plot point with, well, why does Mad Eye Moody keep meeting with this? What's the other guy?
Bartimus Crotch.
Fucking Bartimus Crouch guy in his office. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But Moody stays in the office, and Crouch is the one teaching. What is the map
Yeah.
bugging?
Yeah, no, so 100%, yeah, no, it's not fooled by Polyjuice at all. And, okay, so,
The students were just too dumb to figure out what the hell was going on.
yeah.
So I don't think the stairs would be fooled by an animagus either, because otherwise the twins would have said something, because they went to school with Tonks. The
That's
map
true.
would have changed if Tonks at some point wasn't.
But that's what I'm saying
Tonks.
is I think it might classify metamorphs as like a third type.
Maybe it reads the soul.
No, there's no way it reads the soul. That's what I'm saying. Well, maybe like men and women have like a magical signature that's yeah. There's some sort of part of a magical signature that is always like every single guy has this in their magical signature. Every single girl has this in their magical signature.
Has this.
And so metamorph
Yeah.
maguses might just be like the third one because they can turn into men and women like without
As
effort.
they please.
Yeah. So, it might be
Who fucking knows? Either way, the story's dumb. Author's
story is
stupid.
very dumb. Yeah. So anyway, this is the big reveal. So, you were really a girl or secretly Harry? When I was 6, I put a dress on and I realized I was right. It wasn't 4, it was 6 years old. I put a dress on and I realized that I was a girl. In the mirror of desire, I saw myself as a girl. It was who I was always meant to be. When I faced Voldemort, he knew I was Lily, and he called me Lily. He said he could make me Lily if I joined him, and he said the world would see me as a freak. I mean, you're literally a metamorph magus, like that's...
Yeah, if you're a metamorph, you can just,
If you can
change
literally
whenever you fucking feel like
yeah,
it.
if you can literally change on the spot, your hair grows, shrinks, your face turns feminine, your voice turns feminine, all of that changes, then the wizarding world's just gonna look at you and be like,
Yeah, that's a
okay,
metamorph.
and then move on.
It's Tuesday.
Yeah, it's like, damn, that's
the
crazy.
story should just go, you know what? You're a metamorph. You can be whatever you say you are. Except you're not. You're whatever you were born as.
I mean, if this big
metamorph.
reveal came out, it would be more like Ron being like, blimey, you can really change? That's crazy. I wonder if other people have heard of this. And then Hermione chimes in with, oh, well, I read a book where it's called Metamorph Maguses, Harry. They're supposed to be really rare. That's really amazing that you're one.
Wait, wouldn't Harry have met Tonks growing up with Sirius?
Yes, if she ever visited. But, they might have gone with the whole secret thing where they hid away.
Favorite cousin.
Yeah, well, here's the problem, right? Narratively, it doesn't work if Harry meets someone who could have accidentally revealed the secret of Metamorph Maguses to him before he completely conceptualized the idea that he was trans and not just a Metamorph Magus.
That's so fucking dumb.
Yeah, so, we purposely had to keep this character away. Well, I mean, obvious. I mean, come on, the author quite literally wrote out that Harry touched a dress and had a divine revelation that he was trans.
Yeah,
you really expect this author to respect anything?
I'm expecting too much, I know.
Meta-wise, it would have worked because Tonks could have groomed him.
Yes.
I mean, technically speaking, by the definition of grooming, yes.
I mean full-on grooming.
To be fair, that would actually not be terrible, because, man, Can you imagine, you're going through puberty now, and then you wake up and your dick ain't there, and you're trying to figure out how to take a
Going on
piss.
here?
Yeah, you're freaking out.
Why
You're
am I
like,
bleeding
ah.
all over?
It's like it would
And
be
then
it would be the worst. So yeah, definitely having someone who is like actively aware of how to use these powers probably would help you a lot.
Oh yeah, I metamorphed for a little too long, and now I'm stuck like this for a week.
That
Never
is,
doing that
you've
again.
read too many Harry Potter stories. You have
Better
read
yet-
far too many Harry Potter stories. When the Moors
Better-
ruled Japan.
Oof.
Yeah,
Better yet,
okay.
it's a case of, you know what? I kept track of my my times of the month there. So what I do is every month, the week before it, I would just change it to a guy and skip it. Never have to deal with them again.
Oh, that is true. You know what? Well, I mean, actually, if you really think about it, she probably has total body control, which means she probably could
She
just
could probably
not
just tell her
have them.
body not to have a
Yeah.
period.
Could a metamorph magic be a response to something like souls and bodies being the wrong body, like female soul and male body or something? I don't
No.
know, blank soul and whatever body. So here's the thing, right? Is basically souls functionally don't exist in the Harry Potter universe.
No, they do.
Nope. They do not.
They literally do because of Voldemort and his whole soul bullshit.
I said functionally don't. So ghosts aren't souls. They are psychic
No,
remnants.
ghosts are not souls. They're magical impressions.
Yep. They're psychic remnant magical impression bullshit.
Yeah.
On top of that, the resurrection stone does not bring back souls. It brings back your
Nope.
memory of the person. And the point of the resurrection stone is it tries to use that memory to get you to kill yourself.
Does it?
Yes, it does. Basically, using the resurrection stone, the longer you use the resurrection stone, the more pleading the apparition before you becomes to join you. It's literally in the myth of the resurrection stone is that the guy who got the resurrection stone one day killed himself because he couldn't stand being separated from his childhood love because she kept begging him to join her.
I thought that was just, you know.
And then when
these were
Harry
actually souls. And
Nope. Nope. And then when
he-
Harry used it, his mom subtly said it's okay for him to die and sacrifice
but
himself.
In that case,
But no, and no parent
No.
would tell their kid to sacrifice themselves.
no, but Lily explicitly would know about the Horcrux.
No, she wouldn't.
Like we know that
Lily didn't know about the Horcrux.
she could know, theoretically.
She could.
We
but,
we know that the one created from Priori Incantatum when Harry and Voldemort lock wands. We know that one is not a soul, but I thought the ones generated by the ring were by the stone rather were souls.
Nope. Nope. Never.
Like, Harry expressly said there was a difference and he could tell the difference.
Well, I mean, Harry is also a delusional teenager.
True.
They were neither ghost nor flesh. He could see that. They resembled most closely the riddle that escaped from the diary so long ago. They had been memories made solid, less substantial than living bodies, but more than ghosts. They each
That's what
moved
it
towards
says
him.
about
On each face was a loving smile. Description of the shades brought back by the stone. Their
Yeah,
memories
okay.
made flesh.
I'm just remembering this now mostly from because I saw the movie back then. When Harry and Voldemort fought in the graveyard, were those the spirits of his family that came in to talk to him? Or were those
No.
like,
No.
So when Harry and
Those were-
Voldemort fought in the graveyard, they were the souls of people that Voldemort had killed with the wand, and basically they were like little tiny magical, like, so basically a ghost is created when a
Magical
wizard dies
copies.
with unfinished business. And basically what happened is that Voldemort killed a bunch of people in obviously very agonizing ways that created a lot of unfinished business, and his wand apparently, like, absorbed those ghostly remnants instead of letting them form into a ghost. Apparently. And so when Harry's wand connected with his wand, it pumped power into Voldemort's wand, which gave the ability for the ghosts to manifest and help Harry in the fight. Apparently.
Wow,
So
but it,
J.K. Rowling operates off of what is called a soft magic system, where it basically boils down to, I don't have to explain shit, it's magic, stupid.
yeah, fair.
Which is really only good when you're not trying to explain things.
Right.
Um,
Well,
let's see here, blah, blah, blah. Exact nature of the shades summoned by the Resurrection Stone is unclear. They remain visible only as long as the stone is held, and only to the person holding the stone. These shades were said to dislike being drawn from their place as they had not belonged there anymore, but Harry Potter's loved ones made no complaints when he summoned them. Gellert tried to use the stone to create an army of Inferi, but failed. Death granting the stone. Blah, blah, blah. Resurrection stone. Unlikely made by death. Blah, blah, blah. Stone was... Regardless of how the stone was created, Katniss attempted to use it to bring back a girl he had loved and prepared to marry her before her death. While he was able to bring back a shade of her, he felt as though a veil separated them, and he could tell that she was suffering from being forced back into the world of living. Realizing limitations, he killed himself out of grief. Okay, fair enough. Okay, so maybe they don't beckon him to die. But they're definitely not souls. So we are directly told by the narrative that they are memories made flesh. Slipped from his hands with the intention that it'd be lost in the forest forever. Walked to his death. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay, so apparently his parents, Cyrus and Remus, all showed up, and they all told him to go, sacrifice himself, and that it was okay. So, I mean, you know, mixed opinions there from my end on that. You know, you have a bunch of shades telling you to go kill yourself. The first person that owned it also killed himself.
hey, maybe you'll kill yourself. No, I don't think I will.
Stone is the only hollow, blah, blah, blah. When asked about the stone, when asked about the stone working after Dumbledore cracked it to destroy the Horcrux, Rowling said that only Dumbledore could have extracted the soul fragment, but left the original charm intact. Okay. Yeah, it means nothing. Yeah, so we basically have no information on the stone, what it actually is. There's just a lot of fucking speculation on what it actually is. But it does not bring back the spirits of the dead. They cannot be affected by magic. And they are more memory than ghost. Those are the bits of information we have about it. So, yeah. Either way, this author basically chose the worst method possible of introducing this into the story. Is like, this is fucking stupid. "Oh, Lily." And then Harry turned into a woman. Blah blah blah. Common room. Blah blah blah. We've received an alarm. Better not be twins again. Don't have to tell them. Harry just told us something important. Harry, you're not a freak. You're amazing. You could have always told us. I love you no matter what. We'll find a way to help you. I have an aunt. Oh, Jesus Christ. So he tells Sirius and Minerva, two people who 120,000% know who the fuck Tonks is, that he can transform into a girl. And that he's actually a girl. And their reaction is, we'll help you, and they don't bring up Tonks at all. And then Hermione
No.
pipes up saying, I have an aunt who used to be my uncle. She's transgender.
Because again, the point isn't being a girl, it's
Yeah, yeah. I should have seen the signs. Sorry, Lily, for not connecting the dots. I mean, so this is like the
Seems-
most wild thing of it, right? Like, that implies that the stairs are seeing your psyche. They're reading your mind to understand who you are. Which, that would mean that on the map he would show up as, like, Lily Potter instead of Harry Potter.
yes. Yes.
And the letter would have been addressed to Lily Potter and not Harry Potter.
Yep. Explicitly so.
I should... That would also mean that someone could literally use, like, the Empirus curse and then tell the person that their name is Lily Potter and that they are a girl, and then they could walk up the stairs.
Yep.
God, that's...
Author did not think this through, no.
No, of course not. It's okay, Hermione. What do the Muggles do when someone's transgender? They take something called the hormones, and they get surgeries so they can look more masculine or feminine.
What?
And
What?
Minerva
Immediately
says,
suggests-
I'll look around and see if I can find anything out about you. I don't know if there's anything about transforming in the wizarding world, says the transformation professor.
I have to ask if are they like rewriting Tonks out of the world or something?
Apparently.
They might be.
Because that's the only way I could see why they haven't brought her up.
Or not just
That-
Tonks. The
that or
Polyjuice
they-
potion.
When does Tonks show up, out of curiosity?
She
what-
shows up in the 5th book.
Yeah, the 4th or 5th
It-
book.
When does Sirius show up?
3rd.
4th book, wasn't it? 3rd?
Okay. So is it possible that this author somehow just didn't actually read that far?
No.
No, because they're doing the whole thing.
No, he knows. He's explicitly doing it without Tonks.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're explicitly doing the political approach and not, you know,
The rational approach.
yeah.
Not
Because
the
otherwise
approach
they just
that's-
use magic.
Yeah, I like, you're really telling me the magical world has nothing for this at all? Like, no wizard in existence. Like, we have wizards out there who are waking up in the morning and going, I wonder what earwax tastes like. I wonder if I can make a jelly bean that tastes like earwax so I can taste
No.
earwax without actually eating earwax. We have wizards waking up and asking that question, but you're really telling me we don't have wizards waking up and going, what would it be like to have sex
What
as a
would
girl?
it's like to be a girl? Or
I
that, yeah.
just, I'm just kind of weirded out by the fact that we've said explicitly the Wizarding World has nothing on transformation while standing shoulder to shoulder with a werewolf.
With McGonagall.
Yeah, no, not only is she, no, not with the werewolf.
Like-
She's standing shoulder to shoulder with the animagus, the guys who transform into animals.
Yes,
like-
also.
She also is an animagus who transforms into an animal.
Yeah.
She's
The-
also a
the-
professor of transformation.
The transformation specialist has admitted to not understanding transformation. How did you keep to your job for this long, ma'am?
There is
Nepotism.
canonically a dude who transformed himself into a couch. Oh yeah, there was, yeah.
Okay, look.
That sounds
You'd
awful.
figure there would be some kind of actual permanent gender changing potion. Not polyjuice.
Oh
Just
no,
for the
there
convenience
is.
of it.
No, there is. It's a spell called a spell called self-transfiguration. It's a permanent spell. It's why it's partly so dangerous is that if you transfigure both your arms using the spell into something that can't hold the wand, then you can't
Then you can't
use the wand to
transform
undo
back.
it. Yeah.
Is that what happened to the dude that transformed himself into a couch? Or was that a
Possibly.
Probably.
thing he did?
Might have been
no,
a
no,
prank.
I'm talking about like not self transfiguration, just a potion to automatically do it. You drink it. You're
Right, no,
done,
but
one and
what
done.
I'm
Why
saying
bother-
is that
why
there is
bother with
literally a spell that
potion?
does it.
Yeah, there's a spell that could do it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
why
I
bother
get
with a
you.
potion if there's a spell?
Because you have to
Ease
know.
of use.
Well, ease of use, but also I assume that the reason why self-transfiguration is so dangerous is that you actually have to know the organic structure or the inorganic structure of whatever you're turning into,
Or
and-
something. Have a
Really?
really good mental image of what it looks like.
or have a really good mental image, yeah, which usually comes with knowing the structure of what you're turning into.
True. I don't think you'd need to know like down to the chromosomes.
No,
what
no,
the
no.
hell
You
this
more. It's
is.
more a general idea because I remember in the Triwizard
Victor
tournament.
and the shark.
Yeah, Victor turned his head
transformation.
into a shark. Yeah, because he was trying to give himself gills, but he ended up turning his whole head into a shark.
That's
shark
impressively
head.
Stupid.
Not the full shark body, but just the shark head.
Yeah,
but
just
yeah.
the shark head. But couldn't breathe
one of
oxygen, only
those-
water.
One
Yeah.
of those was a much funnier mental image. What's the
He's a reverse centaur. It's a full shark on top of a human body.
Ugh.
No,
Or
yeah,
he's
it's
just a
a shark.
straight shark. If you remember that.
You're
Yeah.
fucking summoning some of the dark arts there, sign.
Yeah,
Careful.
that's some age
Yeah.
bomb shit right there, sign.
Right? Well, I mean, it could be like biker mice from Mars.
Jeez.
Has that for an age bomb.
Man,
Careful,
my
you might-
mother watched
you
that,
might
so
hurt
I don't know,
yourself.
sign. Yeah, you might want to be careful with that one.
Oof.
When did that show come out?
Somewhere around the
90s?
1910s.
Both the series that have been referenced are like mid 80s to mid 90s.
Late 80s to mid 90s, yes.
Yeah.
89, 90s.
Something only an ancient man like Sign would know of.
A
I
great
am
old
90%.
one, yes.
I'm
1993. Says.
Oh, see?
I'm
Oh,
That's right.
speaking
sure
of
I had one
age
of the
bombs,
was.
Andros was a little bit of a retard. Where yeah, so some
Only a little?
everyone was posting that
Someone
joke
discovered
around.
Something stupid.
Yeah, right. Who's on first joke? The Who's on first joke was first transcripted in 1938. That's nearly 100 years ago. But
Okay.
earlier variants came out before then, as far back as 1925. And I said that's basically 100 years ago, and he said that joke isn't 100 years old. I'm like, Andros, it literally fucking almost is. Like, damn, bro.
That's sad. Yeah, I didn't get the thing at first.
You didn't
and
know
then when
who's
I
on
did-
first?
So I am aware of the whole
Baseball,
who's on
huh?
first, Abbott and Costello baseball thing. I'm aware of it. I knew what it was, but I looked at the image I went, who? He's on a base. I did not make the connection for some reason. Okay.
Oh, well, no pattern recognition in sign. He's going old.
What a
Apparently.
shame.
I'll have to put him down.
I'm trying to decide if that's a big enough L, but probably not.
No, it's not. Sign, unfortunately, has kept his
That's just
L's
old
to his
age.
chest. Yeah.
Oh well. I think the fact that he thinks that my enthusiasm will be gone after 1 week of waiting is funny though.
Speak to Madame Pomfrey. If anyone knows anything about being trans, Madame Pomfrey might know. I'm not ill, though.
Transfiguration teacher might know a thing.
Ah, yes, go to the crotchety old nurse.
Oh,
She'll
no,
help.
the nurse isn't older crotchety. She's actually very kind and loving. It's just she gets really irritated when a certain person constantly hurts themselves in activities they shouldn't be participating
you
in.
figure the actual medical nurse would just look at him and go, nah, look, you're a metamorphomagus, and that thing you're talking about is not a thing.
Imagine
If you
eliminating
wanna
a
be-
whole... Yeah, just imagine eliminating a whole section of magic from the world specifically to fit your political worldview. That's insane.
Right.
That's insane.
Just
I'm
to
half
have it
tempted to like to
understood.
skip
Okay.
through this fic just for the word, just to see if Metamorphomagus is
I'm
in
sorry,
there.
that sounds like something Voldemort would do.
True.
Unironically.
Unironically, yeah. So anyway, what's more wild is the fact that, like, hey, we should probably talk to a doctor about this. A doctor who specializes in human bodies and their variances. And Harry's first reaction, of course, is to start panicking about being ill. That's suspicious.
That's telling.
Yeah. And then Hermione says, "Can I try something?" And then she takes Harry's hand and affirms her gender.
You?
Huh?
And then Harry gasped as a sense of gender euphoria rushed through her.
Is this actually what's being written?
I'm sorry. Are you
Yes.
reading those words?
I am reading those
feel
words.
Like, I feel like we need to wrap up the stream before this gets
Take
and
a screenshot.
and
I'm not gonna believe you until I
two of
see
you
it.
start saying things that can't be taken back from the stream.
Hey,
yeah,
man.
Max is right, cause
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we
Like-
should probably. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Hey, it wasn't us though. We didn't do this. We didn't eliminate a whole branch of magic. We didn't rewrite reality to fit.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Sneaky's doing the sneaky thing. He is exaggerating.
I am
a little. It's a
exclaiming the truth.
sensation of joy.
I am
Yes.
exclaiming the
That is-
truth.
That is.
I
mm,
will say this. They can keep the whole like Harry to Lily thing, but I want chapter 3 to start being a fucking psychological horror. As it's like,
Yes.
wait, Uncle, what about your friend Tonks that you used to talk to me about? Who's
Tonks?
We don't
Who's
talk
Harry?
Tonks?
It's just an eldritch replacement.
right.
Oh, good lord.
yes.
It's like, what didn't you say that she was whatever the metamorphomagus or something? It's like, that's not a thing, Harry. Where are you getting this
What are
from?
you talking about, Harry?
Who's Tonks?
Yeah,
Harry? I've
no,
never
I
heard
mean,
of
there
Tonks.
was this really one funny story called The Girl Who Lived, and Harry had a curse placed on him at some point. You probably remember it.
Alright, it's The Girl Who Lived, and alright, it starts out with Dumbledore and Snape decide that the power he knows not is butt babies. through
No, this
strong
is a
masculine
legit. No,
love.
fuck off, sign. This is a legitimate
his elf?
story that's actually good, not whatever fucking fetish you have right now.
No. That I'm telling you, this is exactly what it was.
No, I'm
It's the
telling
one
you
where
you're
Harry Potter
wrong.
becomes Sailor Moon, right?
No, this is not. This is a different story called The Girl Who Lived because that title is used about with thousands of stories.
Okay.
Amazing.
Yes.
That's a pretty common. That is absolutely a common
Amazing
title.
sign.
Which is why I
don't read
refer to
Harry
that
Potter
story
fiction.
series as Violence Inherent in the System because that's a much more iconic name than
Well-
The Girl Who Lived. Anyway, so
You-
the girl who lives story that I am thinking of, which is very dead and not completed, was Harry is a guy, totally normal guy. However, he was always treated like a girl by the Dursleys. He never understood why. He was very much a guy. Everyone treated him like a girl. No one ever listened to him when he said he was a guy. He gets to Hogwarts, and everyone's treating him like a girl. And like, if he looks in the mirror, he can see like a phantom illusion over himself of being a girl, but he's a guy. And if he tries going up the stairs, it recognizes him as a guy. And so that's how he convinces Dumbledore to believe him on this, because like he'll tell Dumbledore that he's a guy, and Dumbledore will blink, look at him, and be like, "Holy shit, you're a guy!" And then his eyes will fog up again and be like, "What are you talking about, Harry? What were we talking about?"
It's a perception filter.
Yeah, it's an active anti-mimetic knowledge filter.
That's a Doctor Who style perception filter. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the whole story, is them trying to figure out who the fuck put this curse on him, how to remove it, how to keep living as Harry Potter when everyone expects him to be Lily Potter. It was actually pretty funny and interesting. The author had a good sense of humor. But obviously, it's absurdly hard to write a story like that, and so it died.
I mean, it sounds like a decent premise.
It was a decent premise. It was just like there is only so much you can get out of it as a story concept, though.
Fair.
Blah blah blah. So
Well,
anyway,
well-
everyone starts crowding around Harry and affirming her gender.
Mhm.
Yeah. Blah blah blah. Okay, yeah. So then Lily blooms in full. Will help you with your transition. Yeah, so the author is just pretty much getting rid of transfiguration as a whole. We talked about the potions that can do it. We've talked about the spells that can do it. We've talked about the genetic trait that lets you do it. And the author apparently scrubbed all of it from existence just so they can write a political story about Harry being trans. So that's wild. That gave me cancer. That was... that triggered
That
me.
hurt.
Damn, I don't
Yes.
have that on the bingo sheet.
Yeah. So anyway, we're gonna wrap up for the night. But Jesus
Oh, you
fucking
did.
Christ,
God.
people, man, people need to get a fucking life. That's what people need to fucking do. Like, holy shit. Can you
Mhm.
imagine completely rewriting an entire chunk of a fandom you supposedly love solely so it fits your political ideas? Like, that's crazy.
I don't have to
Oh.
imagine. I can just look at this story.
I mean, true, but it's just like, oh yeah, I love that thing, but only if we change over 60% of it. It's like, well,
Yeah.
do you really love that thing then? Kind
Oh,
of
yeah, I love
feels
the
like you
thing.
don't actually love the thing.
Well, I would love it more if it conformed to what my world.
Yeah, I would.
Well, we'll just call that. We call that headcanon, but it's not
You
real.
got me. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
not real, but they want it to be real.
Oh god. But yeah, so another week,
know-
another lack of any sort of bingo. Alas, we'll see next time.
Imagine how great that chapter could have been if suddenly Jim's Fries was also revealed.
That would be.
I'm definitely
Harry
not saying
turns
that
the
just because
Cyrus.
it's there.
Ah, my eyes are ruby.
That would be a hell of a plot twist. You know what? Include that for the chat. Include that for like chapter 5 of the Eldritch Abomination rewrite.
His eyes turned to literal sapphires. Oh
Are we off
god.
air?
No, we're not off air.